Hello everybody, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you, where you are. Hello, happy Wednesday. This seems quite low. There we go. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. It's me, I'm Hazel. Kitty left, but she'll be back, I'm sure. How is everybody doing today? Tukporo with a 32-month resub. Happy EU Reset Day. What's your favorite mount from Dragonflight? You can only choose one. Well, my first thought was Big Slick in the City, except I don't have it yet. But I guess that wasn't a criteria. I suppose if I don't have to have it, then the Big Pink Snail it has to be the Big Pink Snail, right? Also, am I connected? I don't hear anything. Seems like you guys might hear a tiny bit. Turn it off and back on again. What's the worst thing that can happen? Percolate with a 48-month resub. Thank you very much. Do incorporeal thing. You hate it? That is a valid opinion. I respect your right to it. I actually really like incorporeal. I think that it's way easier than a lot of other affixes. I wish that spiteful could go join the thing from beyond and never come back. I really have a bone to pick with spiteful, but because I feel as though it bullies me personally. But incorporeal is almost any class can deal with it, and then you just have like a nice little mouse every just zap it and then it's gone. Marmo, thank you for the 48-month resub. Has to be the Big Pink Snail. Is it awful to get for non-pet collectors? It's not. It wouldn't be awful. It would just take longer is the thing. It's just that being a pet collector would save you some dailies. It would save you about half the rep grind worth of dailies, but you can still do it with just further rep grind. Speaking of the rep grind, I miscounted. I thought that if I skipped one day and I did one day of snail dailies off stream, that today on stream I would be able to finish it. And I'm pretty sure that I need 2 more. I'm pretty sure I need to do today and tomorrow. So I can still finish my big slick grind on stream, but alas, I don't think I'm gonna, let's see here. Be doing it today because Hazel can't count. But you know what Hazel can do? Hazel can cancel. I am on some new tech, and by new tech I mean just different tech for Craft Sim. I have converted to Auctionator because it allows me to manually do my own scans, so I can feel confident that I have the very latest information. I thought the scans were going to take like 5 to 10 minutes each, and that's why I didn't want to do it, but it turns out they don't take that long, so I am now... and also TSM was driving me batty by not letting me click anything out of my bags without a reload ever, so I've killed TSM for the moment. I am using Auctionator instead. Doesn't really matter. I'm not posting stuff with it. I just undercut with it, and then I've been using it to calculate when something is profitable to craft, and I like it quite a bit. So we're just going to check out the rest of this stuff. I was doing some crafting this morning and yesterday, and, forever and ever, amen. More or less. Let's just throw all that stuff up there. And it looks like my auctions are worth about 900k right now, so puts me pretty much back to the 4 mil I started with, but I still have like 100,000, maybe 90,000 draconic vials in my bank because of the and we spent 700k to get 1.6, so that's some value. I feel like I must be making profit somewhere. Anyway, let's start with the snail daily before. No, you know what? We have to craft. We got coffee to drink, so let's just do the auction house scan. Let's just do that. So we're gonna go into Auctionator and we're just gonna let it think about its life for a second. Marmo with a 48-month resub. Thank you very, very much. Agreed. Spiteful is the worst. Got the 4th piece of tier in my vault and then got Bis Boots in the time walking chest. Krat Saga, no. Also, I forgot about the time walking chest. Now I just need all the worm crests and better trinkets. Hate when the add-on gets stuck in the error cycle. There's lots of add-ons can end up there, but TSM has been the worst for it. It's just been awful. Okay, so now I know I have lots of those. Let's do a batch of that, and oh no, not a batch of those. I have lots of those to sell. I have inventory of that. We can make some of those. Well, all right, let's calm down. No, I'll never calm down. I'll make some of those. We don't like that right now, which is probably for the best. Quick hands, I'll do a little batch of that. And then, yeah, okay, that's where we need to spend most of our time. So let's shop, shall we? Actually, this has a pretty cool feature where if you can open the auction house and your profession window. I was just shown this very recently. You can actually, so I decided I wanted to make, let's start at the top with the shocking disclosure. I can actually search. Don't worry about this. This is not where we're, I don't know where the other thing went, but we can search that, and that means it just pulls up all the mats already. So I want to make like maybe 100 of these. So we're gonna do 90 here. And it was not that much faster than what I was doing before because I had all of my commonly purchased mats sort of saved and favorited already. But this definitely doesn't hurt. So 2,500 of these. Well, actually, no, just 2,000 maybe because I have 500 already. So we'll do that. And we'll start with that. I have 20 minutes left on my crafting speed file. They're in your bank because of what we like to call the incident. I'm very pleased with that decision. I bought 160, 170k of them. In the last couple of days since the last time you saw them, I've used about 80,000 of those vials. I will crush them within the week. Like there's no question about whether or not I was going to use them. And I haven't even needed to go into my bank. I have lost a window here. I've definitely reset frame positions. I've lost my projected profit window. Not this one, but the calculated one. How did I do that? Percentage profit. Never done that before. Did I do them all? Did I make 100 of them? No, no way. Yeah, no way. Okay, coffee time. Marmo, of course you feel like a regular. Would Auctionator and TSM clash if I run both? There is one way to find out. I felt pretty good about letting TSM take a little nap. I don't think I'm quitting TSM forever by any means, but currently I was mostly just using it for price sources. And for price sources for CraftSim specifically, so if I'm basically just taking a break from it. Maybe one day it'll learn how to behave itself again. I used to be able to use TSM without it causing that many troubles, so maybe one day we'll come around to like a new expansion or something that makes it better behaved. I am a Hazel that makes guides that you watch when you pretend you've done a fight before. That is me. Hello. Welcome. Did you get anything nice from your vault this week? I did. My vault was actually quite benevolent to me this week. It was kind. It was merciful. I got a tier helm. I got a 441 tier helm, and I'm pleased with that because that puts me at 3-piece. And helmet is a late raid slot, which means that I'm missing chest piece and legs, which are from kind of mid-raid, which gives me a pretty good chance to find some. One thing we could do today, if I decided that I was really, 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 really dutiful and diligent, because I have a raid tonight, so I could do it before raid. Could do LFR. The second wing of LFR that's out has a chance to drop both of those tier slots, so I could potentially, if I get really lucky, get 4-piece in LFR today. Narrated file of the quick hands. Let's do that next. Let's make well, I missed my, here, I'm just gonna reload. Maybe reloading fixes everything. Hi, kitty cat. Welcome. You wanna come up and see me? Hi. How you doing? Oh, careful. Watch your step. You good? She's been a little bit, well, we've both been a little bit out of sorts today. I think we're easing back into our weekday, so to speak. I wanted to make, I've like, hang on, average profit. There we go. I just unclicked a thingy. That was my problem. Also, that's not the number that you want to see. Oops. What are we saying? We're still saying, although for 5, let's forget that just to save some time. I think quick hands and tepid versa are gonna be where it's at for me. We'll do some of these. Let's make like 200. No, just 100 actually. So I remember we open them both, and then we do that. So I want 200 or 400 of these because we'll just do 100 worth, which should be 200 plus multi-crafts. If it ever loads. 400 of those. And then like 800, 700. And then of course we still have 993k vials. 93k. Not actually a crazy amount. Got my legs and shoulder of my Devoker. Very nice, Bunny Mountain. I've heard through the evoker grapevine that Devastation evokers just go absolutely bananas with their tier set. It's so good. Guild has low number of priest, paladin, shaman. Those tier tokens have been dropping a lot, so I have 5 set now. Sometimes it works out that way. I'm jealous because I'm in the opposite kind of position where I'm on the token that has a lot of people on the token. 5 set. Nice. Feels bad for the evokers, warriors, rogues, monks. Everyone's getting tier eventually. The good news, at least for our guild, is that those tokens Zenith tokens have been dropping. There's just a lot of people that need them. I'm glad I got a piece out of Vault because that saves one of them. Working on getting the Dragon Wrath staff on my evoker so I can get the new mount at the end of the Blue Dragonflight questline. This is the first that I'm hearing about that. That's interesting. I'll have to look into that. Good morning, Hazel. How are you today? Good morning. How am I today? Seems good. Up, awake, here, coffee. I had a lovely couple of days off. I did things. Doing things always feels good. I'm always afraid to do things because I'm a little chicken in a lady's body, but when I do them, it's always very satisfying and exciting. DPS went nuts afterwards. Want that 5-piece. Wow, freshman, thank you very much for the 20-month resub. Wasn't meant to be a stumper. No, I know, it's all right. I wanted to answer honestly, and then I thought, how do I feel? And then I thought, I don't know. How do I feel? Sometimes that's a hard thing to figure out. Sometimes you spend time doing and not feeling. And then it's a bit scary when you try to check in with yourself and you can't find anything. You're just like trying to figure out what is going on. And then you're like, I don't know. Is there still someone in here? I'm going to post those up and then we're going to do some tepid verses. We always love those. So we're going to need 2,000 of these. This will spend a little gold, shall we? 2,000 of these and then a nice little 16,000. Sometimes, yesterday I was selling these as fast as I could make them. And that was pretty, so I want to hang on to some of these because I do use them. Yesterday I was selling Tepid Versa basically as fast as I could crank them out. And they were profitable the whole time, so I just basically kept rolling it. Shall I? Oh, no, I hate, for whatever reason, I'm really hesitant to use my mailbox toy when I'm crafting. Maybe it's because the mailbox is right here and it's not a big deal. Don't mind me running a ground mount. Everything's fine. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna do dailies after this, and maybe there's an odd chance that I just decide that I need a mailbox. I don't know. It's a 3-hour cooldown. I'd hate to be caught without it. Speaking of needing mailboxes for things, before I forget, I'm just gonna get, oh, those have come down. Niffin contract, 300 gold. Yeah, sure, no worries. You betcha. I'll spend 300 gold for a little extra Niffin rep on World Quest for the week. Where did it go? I lost it. Here we go. Also, did get the Rashok trinket for my vault this week. Confirm. Do not want it to get nerfed. Congratulations. Oh, no. Oh, Auctionator. No, don't do this to me, too. No. Oh, jeez. I thought I was free. I was so excited. It didn't even occur to me that Auctionator would have the same problem. You can't. Maybe it'll happen less. You know, knock on wood, question mark. You can reload your UI when that happens, but I swear it buys you like one use of a thing out of your bags. Add-ons in general. The TSM is generally my only culprit for that. I've heard that Bagnon can be bad, but I'm not a Bagnon user. Battlescript does it a lot for me. TD Battlescript should be depreciated. It should be retired. I I'm running pet battle scripts, and that has never done it to me once. I don't think. No, pet battle scripts hasn't done it to me. I would take a look at swapping. Sometimes TSM, sometimes random others. Better Transmogs does it to me. I did kill Better Wardrobe and Transmog because it was also causing me that trouble, and I decided I didn't need it that bad. 93k vials. I had 160. I bought a bunch of them when the price had dipped. I was looking at these the other day, and they were down to 4 gold 60 in the auction house, where usually I pay kind of 480, 485 for them. And I thought, you know what? I'll take them. And I took all of them. I took all of the North American Draconic vials that were under 4 gold 80. Because I figured I'll use them, and it was, they stack up to 1,000, but it still filled up my bank pretty good. It's another incentive to be crafting lots and lots and lots of stuff, is just chunking through them. Kitty cat, you want to say hi? Hello. Meow. It's gonna be a nice sunshiny day. You gonna hang out in your little sunny spot on the floor? It'll be nice and warm. Nice cat. Hello, cat. I did many different things. I guess I don't know why I'm doing small camera. This isn't the most interesting thing to look at. I did many different things on my days off. I have Monday, Tuesday off, and they felt like a whole summer in 2 days. I started. Recommendations how to prune down and add-ons have far too many. I mean, you kind of go through your list, and then you think, I don't need you anymore. And then you disable it first, and then if you don't miss it, then you delete it. Although it's not a lot of skin off your back to get an add-on back after you've deleted it if you didn't have super custom settings for it. Installed craft sim, profits always below 0 for all the potions and files. Is it my servers? It may be things that will affect your profit margin, and mind that you're looking at average profit this window here and not this window here, because this just shows you direct profit if there was no procs of multi-craft or resourcefulness or inspiration or any of it. The average profit window is what you want, and that number is going to be influenced by your crafting stats. Sorry, I'm mousing over things that you can't see. That's going to be influenced, this window here is going to be influenced by your crafting stats. You can enable that window with this little thing up here in the control panel, which I just now found out about. And so you're going to get more stats through your knowledge points, and you're going to get more stats through your crafting gear. So getting better quality gear, getting an enchant onto your tool, and getting your profession skill points all filled out, or at least the relevant ones all filled out, is going to all improve your your average profit margins. Rematch is a pretty good add-on for tracking battle pets. That's the one that I'm using currently, just in the journal. If you mean tracking them in the world, Pet Tracker used to do that also, but I've kind of lost track of what it was for. All the things can also show you which pets might appear in a zone that you don't have yet. I did go fishing. I got up at like 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning on Monday, because I wanted to go fishing so bad. And also I was fishing at a new spot that I hadn't been to before, and I didn't really know what the drive was going to be like. And it's, it's kind of summertime-ish, so the days are really long right now, so it's light out quite early. And I felt like I may as well leave as early as I could possibly stomach it, because the roads are pretty empty if you're driving at like 5 in the morning. So I got up real early, and I went out and I went fishing. I took a couple clips that I'll put together later this month for the next member video. But I tried out a new spot, because last week, previous to that, I had gone rock fishing at this. I'm being vague about my spots because I'm being coy like fisher people like to be, so people don't know. I mean, not that they're that good or anything, but I had found like this outdoor sort of hikey spot that I quite liked. but it was like a really, really, really aggressive hike. So I found the second spot, the one that I went to recently. I went fishing at Ogden Point off the breakwater, which is like a thing, you know. It's this structure in Victoria that goes out into the ocean. It's like a man-made spit kind of. It's the breakwater. It's like a thing. People can walk down it. It's fenced, but you can also, there's some stairs that you can get down into the rocks beside it. So you can walk like quite a ways out into basically the ocean and then fish off the side of it for rockfish. And then what people really want there is lingcod, which, funnily enough, fun fish fact, lingcod is not technically a cod. It's actually a kind of greenling. Now you know. Anyways, I don't mind saying that spot because everybody and their grandfather fishes there anyways, so it's not like I'm gonna spoil the breakwater as a fishing spot. But I went real early. It was pretty neat. It was pretty cool. It wasn't as, like, there was still wildlife to see. I saw an otter and a seal and an eagle and a heron. A couple herons, actually. Which is pretty much the trifecta for just being by water out here. But it was, I don't know, it was a lot more urban. There was like people that were like fishing and smoking, and there was like a lot of people walking by that would like kind of stop and watch you. And I'm shy and I like to fish in private. So it was good. It was effective. I was there for a pretty short amount of time relatively. Normally I go fishing all day, and I only spent like 2 hours out there. And I caught like a pretty good sized rockfish, and so did my partner. And then we were like, well, I guess go home. Let's get out of here. And then I went home and I went back to bed. Efficient. It was efficient. It was close to home. It was pretty easy to get to because it's like it's not like you're driving out of town. It's in town. And it's reliable fishing. So I feel like if I want fish and chips, then it's hard to do better than that. But it's pretty windy. And I don't know. I'm really spoiled by how beautiful the scenery is at like the parks, like the more wild spots. And I like the privacy a lot of just spending the day on the water with just, not like an audience, Congratulations in order. It's not like new news. I'm just coy about it. I'm just a bit subtle. I have a person. Don't get me wrong, they're allowed to leave, but tell us more. No. A lot of animals' plants were named before DNA sequencing. This is true. Hadn't heard you mention it before. Do you normally fish saltwater? Just so far, this it's pretty new. Last summer, I started fishing in August, pretty much for the first time as an adult, and I spent August, September, and October fishing largely lakes. I did one ocean trip. I got like a 3-day tidal license, and I did one ocean trip last year. But last year was almost entirely fishing lakes for rainbow trout, which was really fun and very delicious. But this year I wanted to try, because we have a lot of marine fishing, like just shore marine fishing here as well. So I wanted to try some saltwater fishing because saltwater fish are really tasty. So I've been working on my rock fishing game. Your rockfish limit right now here in BC is 1. You can retain 1 rockfish combined for any of the species for a day. So if you get one and you keep it, then you're pretty much done fishing. So it's less. With rainbow trout from lakes, it was 4. So you can catch your limit a lot faster if you're just trying to pull one in. Did we not read resubs? Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, let me find it. I missed the sound. I also missed Wow Freshman had a 20-month resub. Thank you very much. And Jamie Lee with a 48-month resub says, happy 48-month Twitch anniversary, Hazel. I got to 70, basically stopped playing. I miss it, want to continue. I feel more and more content is added, so I feel very far behind. Advice on getting excited about playing again. I mean, if you miss it, then there's some part of you that's excited to play again. I think that something that helps me with being excited to play is to try to let go of my own expectation that I do everything. It's to make peace with the fact that big chunks of the game I either didn't do or will never do, and that's okay, and that it's not so much a buffet where I need to eat everything, but it's a buffet where I can just pick something that looks really fun, like pick a project, like maybe I wanted to climb Mythic Plus rating or clear the raid or, level a character and get their item level as high as I can in open world content. Just pick one project and then see what I need to do for that. And that helps kind of narrow the scope and keep it much more manageable. Seems more stringent than for crescent flight stones, the one rockfish thingy. It is, but there it's for a good reason. You want to the populations are monitored by the fisheries, and they want to make sure that there's still continuing populations, and the climate hasn't been all that kind on fish to begin with, so it's I'm very much an abide by limits and have a license. Apparently some people fish without a license. I'm not big on that. But yeah, and besides, I caught a pretty, it wasn't huge, but like a pretty good sized black rockfish, and so did my partner. And then I filleted him up, and I went and I bought a beer. I bought a beer so that I could make a beer batter. And I made beer battered fish and chips. I had never done that before. But I was quite proud of myself that I was able to catch the fish, fillet the fish, beer batter the fish, debone the fish. Actually, that was the part that I was most proud of, is being able to fillet it correctly, but then also find the pin bones and get them all out. And then actually be able to produce a piece of boneless fish off of like a very angry spiky thing that you pulled out of the ocean in the morning. When I'm in a slump, I look at the achievements I don't have and pick one and go for it. I've had trouble recently just trying to not stick to one thing, because we've let go of sticking to one thing. I've been having troubles sticking to anything long enough to get invested in it. I'm just kind of doing too many things at once. I think that I'm having fun, but I think that I'll feel a little better in like a month or so when I've kind of, well, will I have finished anything in a month or so? I don't know. No, I never got the Terragos's Wrath. I want to see this mount. Let me, it must be on Wowhead, right? It must be on Wowhead. I want to see this, because that sounds like a huge project, and honestly, I'm not really all that keen on it. Let me see. Blue Dragonflight questline. Story spoilers. It's not huge. I already started the whole legendary staff thing. Figured I should finish it. Let me see. I'm like looking for it. Dragonflight questline. Flabby was telling me about doing the questline, and he said it was really long. If you have Dragonwrath, Terragos's Wrath, there's also a special questline. An item that grants you Terragos's Visage as an actual mount. Oh, interesting. That's really cool. Why don't I want it? I think I'm good. I think I'm just I'm at capacity for stuff I'm working on right now. I don't have that in me. I can do a Snail daily. I can do a solo shuffle to work on the Vicious War Snail. I can keep doing keys and raid, and I'll kill Karakta whenever I'm in the area, but apparently I'm about at the limit. Did I gather all that Hawk and Bloom? No. I buy in bulk from the auction house to craft lots and lots of stuff. I feel like I've been having so much fun crafting, which is bizarre because it's, look, ma, no hands, but I've been enjoying crafting so much that I feel like I am single-handedly keeping the Auchenbloom price above 2 gold in North America, just because I must go, that's just ego speaking, but I must go through about 50,000 of them a day. Because I make a lot of Tepid Versa, I make big batches of healing potions. You need a lot of it for Omnium Draconis. I'll make big batches of that, and then make that into big batches of Potions of Power. Basically, as much of profitable stuff as I can move. And pretty happy with it. These are great because lots of people need them. They sell really well. Descaling, deboning. Very hard to know what to do. Proud of you for making your own batter. I think I might have over-seasoned it. I put a bunch of chili powder in it because the recipe I was looking at wanted paprika and garlic powder and onion powder, and I was looking at my chili powder and it had like most of that stuff in it. and it was nice, but it made it hard to tell when it was done. I would fry it a little longer next time. It wasn't raw, but I would want it maybe a tiny bit firmer. The trouble with rockfish, you get used to fishing, like you get used to working with trout, and trout are like the cuddly teddy bears of fish. They barely have teeth. They don't really have spines. They're just little round tubes of fish swimming around in the lake. And you can handle them quite safely, and they're slippery, but the worst thing that they're going to do is slap you with your own hook. And then you pull out a rockfish or like some of these big marine fish, and they have big teeth, and they have big venomous spines, and they have big like spines on their gills, and like there's no good place to touch this fish. Their scales are kind of sharp. They're a little scary to handle. I'm still getting used to that. And I think part of it is just that fishing is gonna be kind of hard in your hands. I don't know anybody that comes out of fishing with like unscathed fingers. And gave myself a little boo-boo, but that was my fault. I was doing something stupid. I was like, are you ever using a knife, cutting something like for food, and you're doing a maneuver and you're like, this is a bad idea. And then it goes badly and you're like, yep, I knew it. Why did I still do it? I thought I could get away with it. I thought I was special. But the good news is that I had sharpened my fillet knife quite recently, so it was a very clean cut and it barely even hurt. Did I hurt my pinchers? I hurt the outside of my pinchers, although it wasn't as bad as I had a. You know what? We're not gonna do this. I'm not gonna tell injury stories. Nobody likes this game. It turns into it's just upsetting for everybody. I'm going to sell these guys. We're gonna keep some for me, and then I'm gonna chug these up as well, and then I'm gonna sell these ones, all of them. And that should do for now. Let's go do some snail lilies. Fish shirt. Rockfish sounds like some Drogbar food. I want to catch a lingcod, but I also don't want to catch a lingcod because lingcod are frightening. And rockfish don't have a minimum size for retention. It's just the limit. So it's basically you catch the fish and you're like, well, is this worth fillet? Is this worth having this be the one that I keep and like fillet and eat? And you want it to be a pretty good size so you can get a reasonable fillet off of it. But with lingcod, I have a limit of 1 for a day. And it has a minimum size of 65 centimeters, which is like 2 feet and a little bit long, which is a big fish. And those things have big chompy teeth and they're very angry. I want to catch one because that's like that'll fill your freezer. That is a good amount of like solid white fish that you can do all kinds of stuff with. It's delicious. It's great. It's just it's a great grocery order from the sea. But holy moly, those things frighten me. It's a big fish. And then of course you gotta throw them back. I mean, I have gloves, but I don't know how far they're gonna go if a lingcod decides it's taking a piece of me. Okay, my War Onyx expansion completed. Congratulations, Shadows Wolfie. I forgot about those when we were talking about favorite Dragonflight mounts. The Onyx are really good. Happy you're okay? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all good. I managed to not fall into the sea, which is good because as I have discovered, the sea is cold. It is chilly in the Pacific Ocean, and I do not want to go in there unless I had planned to do so. Kitty heard freezer full of fish. Kitty wants the freezer full of ice. She has picked up an appetite for ice cubes. It's all she wants in her life. If she hears you go anywhere near the freezer, she will be right there. White or red fish? When you say red fish, do you mean like salmon? I think it depends on what I'm doing with it. I like both of them. I prepare them differently. If I get like a trout, what I'm going to do with it is I pretty much cook it almost whole. What I do is I'll take the head off of it, but I'll scale them and I'll clean them really well. And then I'll just kind of pack the inside and outside with like a seasoning mix that I make and then just pan fry it until it's crispy and it's just the best thing ever. And you can just eat it right off the spine. And that way you eat like almost all of the fish, so that you're not letting anything go. If I catch a salmon one day, then I can make the firecracker salmon from the WoW cookbook with salmon. I've been meaning to do it with trout, actually. I have some trout in my freezer still. that I shrink wrapped and vacuum sealed. I should try marinating some of that. I want to catch a salmon, but I don't have a boat and I don't know anybody with a boat. And apparently I'm too cheap to get a fishing charter at this point in my life. I'm hoping that I somehow, through no effort or work, become rich later in my life. I don't know how that's going to work, but if that was the case and I had, you know, my home security and everything, and then I could still wing like a couple $100 to go on a fishing charter every now and then sure, yeah, I'll go find, you know, Jimmy Joe Bob with his boat and go on Jimmy Joe Bob's fishing charters and then go get a salmon that way. It's totally cheaper than having a boat, but right now I have the budget for neither of them. So I'm standing on the shore. Here, salmon, salmon, salmon. It's possible. It is not likely. It is possible. It's not likely. Rockfish are a lot more achievable, and those are also very tasty. Okay. Yeah, we're good there. We're good there. Let's go do a snail daily, shall we? Also, I have I have lots of world quests I can do. I'm still working. I need to finish the Niffin rep weekly as well, so that'll be something. And I haven't done any of my sniffin seeking, so we can do that. I figured I'd save up, I figured I'd do some nice, oh no, did they fix this? I have to find out if they fixed this. I must know. Should I do some dailies while I'm in here? No, I need to know right now. Let's just hearth our way up top, I guess. Getting a charter for one salmon seems like an expensive piece of fish. Ideally, what you do is you have friends and you guys all share a charter, because it might be like $500 for a charter, but if you can bring like 4 or 5 people on it and you split the cost, then that's a lot better. I need to join some kind of a fishing social club or something. I'm not going to, but I should. Because I haven't networked. I don't really know people that I could go in on and also have like a nice day on a boat with on a charter. We're saying, yeah, let's go try over here. Salmon or tuna, don't know about fish. The only 2 colors I know. I see. Yeah, they're both good. And there's also kind of in between. Like a trout is technically a salmonid. They are related to salmons. They are related to salmon. But the color of the fish is going to depend highly on what they're eating. So you'll have something called a steelhead, which is technically a trout. I think steelhead genetically are rainbow trout, but they've been to the ocean and come back, much like a salmon does. And they are very highly sought after. You catch them in rivers in the winter. It looks miserable and very difficult, but people love fishing for steelhead, holy moly. It's like the holy grail of freshwater fishing. And they're depending, like they've been in the ocean, they've been eating lots of yummy ocean stuff, so they're going to taste different, and they're well, honestly, even just in a lake, sometimes you catch like an orange trout and sometimes you catch just like a white one. It just depends on what they were snacking on. $500 for a whole day? Yeah. Something like that. Is that a lot or not very much? I can't tell. Oh, hey. Dragon race. This isn't what I came out here for, but you know, we're going to get 15 Niffin rep. Because 15? 10? 15. Yeah, 15. Because of our handy dandy contract. Add-on recommendations for mount tracking. Depends on what you mean by mount tracking. Tracking mounts that you want to collect that you don't have yet, or tracking and, well, I guess it's not really tracking, organizing the ones you already have. All the things is kind of my go-to add-on for finding things that I don't have yet in-game. For figuring out which mount run or which mount farm I want to do next, I actually like third-party. I like Simple Armory for that, which is just a website that you can use. I've hit a tree. It's a website where you can look yourself up and... Here, I'll show you what I like to do. Alright. This is what I like to do to figure out my mount collecting. Here, let's be Zelixia, shall we? Let's maybe spell it correctly. I don't think it really matters. It's the same account. So I'll go to Simple Armory, and I will look up my character, and I will go to Collectibles and then Mounts. And I like this because it just kind of breaks your mounts down by expansion, and then it breaks them down by source, and then it's got like the filled in icons for the ones that you have, and then you can mouse over anything that you're missing and it'll show you what it is. So I can see I'm missing one Renown mount there. I can see that I have not done the Divine Kiss of Onara. I can see that I'm missing Breezebiter and Kairakta's mounts. And then if you click on any of these, it's going to pull open a Wowhead link where you can go in the comments and read about people giving tips and whatever it is for it. So that's usually what I do to kind of figure out what my next mount farm is, just because it's the cleanest thing to navigate that I've found. It interfaces nicely with the way my brain works. And you can also, if a lot of it is mounts from instances, you can do the planner thing, and it'll show you like which. It shows me that I need to run Nighthold, I need to run Tumus Argyris. It wants me to run Antorus. Good luck with that. Which mount runs to do for instance drop mounts, and that's the planner. It'll try to optimize your travel times there. Okay. What was I doing? Oh yeah, me and Big Slick are gonna find out if this thing works this time. Simple Armory is the website. Simple Armory. Okay. Dun-dun. Hey, it works! It works! Ta-da. If there's like an actual route, I may not know it offhand. I can see the little yellow blobs on my map. I guess that's the route. Alright. I still think this world quest is going to kind of suck. Or not world quest. This Snail Daily is going to be a bit brutal relative to the other ones. All right, let's do the Azure Span one next, shall we? That's a big hill. This Snaily. At least it functions. Last time that I saw this one, it was not working, and that was very upsetting for everybody. Oy, okay. It does seem like it's gonna be a lot of running around. Mine is mostly great. Got lots of mounts to get. All you gotta do is just one at a time. Is what I like to tell myself anyway. Am I working on a mount? Yeah, I'm working on this mount. I'm working on Big Slick in the city right now. That's what I'm after. I suppose I'm also getting some rep for the rep one, the boulder hauler. And then once I get to Renown 20 with the Niffin, I can see sort of how many barter boulders I can afford with my Dragonelle supplies. I only have like 11k supplies, but I can see about getting boulders with those. Those are soulbound. I was thinking about trying to cheese it with alts, but no luck. Because there's some barter boulder mounts to purchase as well, or at least one. Maybe that's the boulder hauler. Worst thing about the snail stuff is helping a snail get the win. Someone else is doing it by helping another snail and they beat you. That happened to me recently on a day where, for whatever combination of reasons, I was already incredibly tilted and salty. And I was, oh, I'm going backwards. Can I just, like, be a rebel and just, yeah. You can do them in whatever order you want. Do you think I can pick a flower from the back of Big Slick? Maybe I should. Maybe I should not. Maybe I should leave that alone. Dragonelle supplies, I've heard, I haven't done this firsthand, but word on the street is that when you finish your Niffin Renown, you can then buy, for Renown 20, so if we look at Niffin and we go all the way to the end, for Renown 20, you can just purchase barter boulders from the Renown Quartermaster, and chat was telling me that they cost supplies, Dragonelle supplies. I don't know what I feel like people said it was like a couple hundred per boulder, which makes me think that it's not that, considering that you need like a lot of boulders for things. It's not really, it's not going to immediately finish your grind for you unless you just had like 100,000 Dragonelle supplies that you weren't doing anything with. 100 supplies per boulder. That's pretty good then. If that's the case, I'm not mad at that. I'd be pleased with that. I need one more snail marker in the upper frostlands this way. Come on, buddy. We can do it. Once you've unlocked barter boulders, you can no longer do anything with bricks except for trade them for boulders. Telling me you don't have 90k supplies just sitting around? No! I've been spending mine buying cosmetics, and I guess I just haven't been earning that many of them. Once I got my Renown finished with all the major factions, I pretty much stopped doing world quests. I didn't really keep going on them. I suppose what I should do is maybe take like a nice little transport pad, little fast travel. Yeah. Completing the quest makes the bricks redundant. It was so close to the timeshare, I have to start over. It should be totally even though. Like you should be able to trade the bricks that you had, you should be able to trade the bricks that you had for boulders, and then the timeshare should have a new price in boulders that is equivalent to a third of the price in bricks. It should be the same amount of progress. Got all my rep max, did only world quest only. Yeah, like they exchange, but you don't lose anything in it. Unless I'm just totally mistaken. My understanding is that getting the Renown, getting the swap to boulders is unequivocally a good thing because the prices are effectively the same. And you're going to get boulders to drop in places where you would have gotten bricks, but the same amount of them. So you're going to get basically more value. You're going to get about 3 times as much currency from a thing that would have given you, if you would have gotten a brick and you get a boulder, that's worth about 3 times as much. Drez, thank you for the 26-month resub. All right, buddy. You know what? This is actually not that bad. I mean, it's scenic. It's not as fast as some snail dailies, but it is a nice way to spend some time with my lovely pink snail. This way. 3 bricks away from the timeshare. Need 20 boulders now. You should be able to, if you were 3 bricks away from your timeshare, you should be able to trade buy boulders with your bricks, and there shouldn't be anything else that you could do with them. There's nothing, you can't spend your bricks on anything now that you've unlocked boulders, except for boulders. So it should just be a matter of buying a bunch of boulders in the vendor, and then you should be almost there via boulders, if that makes any sense. One more snail marker. Oh, I lost it. Oh, I'm also in healing spec. That's not going to help me very much, is it? Yeah, maybe I'm misunderstanding the math. But yeah, it shouldn't be starting over, certainly. All right, let's go. Let's be DPS just in case we have to kill anything. Okay. One more of these guys. Where? Yeah. There we go. And then we're going to the Waking Shores. Oh, all the way north in the Waking Shores. Okay. I don't have a Sarkareth guide yet. I will make one. It's not ready yet. Oh, I can plant a flower there. There we go. So other things today. I'm debating whether I want to do LFR on stream. wonder if I need to do anything. I should look at the loot table and figure out if there's anything that I need from the first wing of LFR. Because I have tier gloves now, so I don't need the gloves. Maybe the Kazara trinket. I think that that might be, especially like if I upgrade it, I think that even an LFR version of, I forget what it's called. There's a couple of trinkets that I need, but I know at least one of them drops from Kazara. Very rarely. And if I could somehow sneak that, the odds don't seem great, do they? But the second wing I need for sure, because that's going to offer me it's going to have 2 pieces of tier, either one of which could become my 4 piece. The cauldron recipe? Yeah, I guess that's true as well, actually. That's a good point. Although I don't really need the cauldron recipe because I don't make cauldrons, because I don't sell you can't sell cauldrons. They're for guild use, and I'm a capitalist. I'm very much a make things if I can make gold off of them. Yeah, I suppose I could sell the recipe. That's a good point. I have the Rashok trinket already. I have the heroic version of the Rashok trinket, so I'm set for that. I am a goblin. I tend to refer to myself as a gremlin when I've been gaming really hard because I tend to get really like just curled up at my desk with the most degenerate posture you've ever seen in your life. It's not a good thing. I'm not proud of it. It's just sometimes it happens. I was doing a key yesterday. I did keys for a couple hours last night. And in that time, completed 2 keys. We did my Neltheris 18. So tyrannical Neltheris 18. And it was kind of the first time we had been in a tyrannical key in that kind of range. Like we had done them on like 14, 15 maybe before, but it's a bit of a difficulty step up and the mechanics become a lot less forgiving. And then, but we made it through. The first boss actually, maybe we just need to work on our strat a bit more, but the first boss was surprisingly difficult. We got stuck on the first boss of Neltheris in that tyrannical 18 for quite some time. We didn't time either of these keys that I did yesterday. And then and then, oh geez, hang on. I want to go underground again. What's my best bet for doing that? Maybe my best bet is to get in a flight path and let the game do it for me. Second boss was actually okay. Third boss, surprisingly all right. The last one was a little bit tricky, but that's because I wasn't well, because I stood in a cone attack and died, if I'm being perfectly honest. But then the second key that I did yesterday on Tyrannical Week was a Vortex Pinnacle 20. And if you think to yourself, wow, a Vortex Pinnacle 20 on Tyrannical Week sounds like a horrific thing to try to heal, you would be correct. Here, take me downstairs. Oh, how did I feel about Incorporeal? I like it a lot. I spec'd into Sleepwalk just so I had kind of a backup in the event that my tank and DPS, because I play with a Brewmaster tank, so one is just para, instant cast, no problem, taken care of. If there's 2 at a time, then it's a question of if one of the DPS is going to get it, or if not, I have Sleepwalk. I can just kind of zap it with a mouse over Sleepwalk, and then it's fine. I find it to be a very easy, low-impact affix. Spiteful, I dislike. I have a personal vendetta against Spiteful. And Spiteful has a personal vendetta against me. Mammoth or Chain Boss? Oh, yeah. Both of them were fine. Mammoth and Chain Boss were both... Or, sorry. Mammoth was hard. Chain Boss was fine. The Mammoth was the one that stuck us, which was surprising. We all kind of thought it would be the other way around. Did a Pug and Nelth totally murder my group because I canceled the knockback on the second boss and he jumped right on melee? Final boss in Nelth is a bit much. A lot of swirlies. Mm-hmm. That was, I mean, it was a bit dangerous, but it was mostly okay. 24th, the Druid Healer hit like 140k on HPS. Can't imagine Tyrannical right now. This Vortex Pinnacle. we finished, I will say, we did not time it. We did finish the 20 Vortex Pinnacle Tyrannical, and I was healing on my evoker. And we were in there for an hour and 40 minutes. And it felt like half or more of that was on the last boss. The first boss actually totally fine, one shot, I'm pretty sure. The second boss, maybe maybe 3 or 4 attempts at it, but we got it. It was fine. It just needs a bit of practice. But the healing requirement, and that was the really frustrating thing, is that I felt like I was the bottleneck in the group because it was the healing requirement. We were losing people specifically to the overlap between the chain lightning and the add AoE on the last boss of VP, because there's a spot a couple of adds in where they happen at the same time, and it felt so impossible for me to keep somebody topped high enough for them to not die to that, even with all their defenses running. What it eventually turned out to be was on our winning poll, the Shadow Priest got that particular chain lightning, and they had dispersion up for it, because if either of the evokers got it, we'd be dead. There was no poll where, there was maybe one poll where we did it and we weren't dead. And it was because I pre-healed myself with a health pot and then had obsidian scales. It was ridiculous. I just felt like I couldn't put out enough healing fast enough, even with all the prep time in the world and with my 2-set bonus. I was scribbling in my notebook, trying out different combinations of like stasis combos and like cooldown timings, because the ads come more frequently than your cooldowns do. But, you've got like temporal anomaly, but that echo is not going to be as effective as a regular echo. And you have some time to set up a regular echo. And I was just trying to figure out like the perfect rotation, which I don't think I figured out. And then, of course, once you're into it, everybody's dying and it's very easy to panic. I found it very difficult. We did do it. We did manage to succeed eventually. I was so frustrated, though. There was one poll that we did on this thing where it was going so beautifully. We were finally getting it together. We'd gotten through one of the hard parts. We were sitting in the triangle. This is the last boss of Vortex Pinnacle. We're sitting in the triangle during the storm. There's no damage there. And I'm looking at my cooldowns, and I'm like, okay, so for the next one, I have this cooldown and this cooldown. I'm going to cast my spells in the order A, B, C, D, Y, X equals 4, whatever. And I'm like, and then I run out of the triangle, but it wasn't over yet. And I nuked myself just by leaving too early in the storm because I figured he should be done by now. And it was a good pull, and we'd been there for so long, and I was so upset. Oh. Static Cling is fine as long as everybody jumps. Static Cling doesn't do any damage I don't feel like it does any damage as long as everybody jumps for it. It's just you have to keep an eye on it while doing a million other things. But there's no way to fully avoid the damage from the chain lightning on the original target. You can make sure it's not on multiple targets, but on that one original target, they need to have something. Because at full health with no defensives, it'll take them down to like 30%. I guess health pools will also help. I don't think we have any business being in a 20 until everybody gets like all like their tier sets and some more gear. I think that last season we got into 20s at the very end of the season. I think last season we got into 20s at the very end of the season when we already had all our gear and we were super used to the key and all of this other stuff. And this time we're trying to do them like week 3 in Tyrannical Week. So I think we're just in there way too early, but it was so hard. However, because we did it, because we finished it, my, what am I doing here? My Mythic Vault is going to have a 447 in it next week. I'm going to have one 447 option because we crawled our way through the end of that 20. Fell Bundle, thank you for the 6-month resub. Yeah, I got a helm in my vault. I got a 441 tier helm in my vault this week. I was delighted. I was agog. I was very happy. I need, oh, also, I haven't done these yet. I figured I would wait a day or so on the Barter Boulder quest. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for this one. So I need to help Tricky. So I just need to wait for the race to finish. Never did I think I would start a season in the 12 to 14 range. Over or under 50 deaths. I don't know, actually. I wonder where I would find that out. I don't remember. Does my detail still have it? Do I have any Vortex Pinnacle 20 overall? I have my overall healing. Uh, miscellaneous deaths. It says 7. That doesn't seem right. Those are 7 entries? I don't know, man. You could look up Raider.io. Yeah. Alright, give me some tricky treats. I have tricky already, but I'll do this just for the, whatchamacallit? The rep. A little bit of rep. But my item level's been doing well. I'm up to 433.4. Which tricky's orange. I'm up to 433.4. I would like my 4-piece, but I'm not convinced that it's going to be a big deal for me. Not because it's not good, but because I don't know if I'm good enough to make really solid use of it yet. I think I just need a lot more practice. I think I just need to be a little, like, lower my expectations for myself a little bit. I just hate being the bottleneck. I don't like feeling like everybody else is waiting for me to get better so we can push higher keys. I don't like being the person that's holding us back, but sometimes it's just the nature of the animal. I just need to keep going, and eventually I'll kind of get the hang of it a little bit better. Our Assad kill was 87.5k overall, which isn't actually a crazy amount, but it's about, there's like no healing combined with, am I leading him to the outer track or is he pathing on his own? There's like no healing for a while and then just the most healing and then no healing and then the most healing. I ended up doing generally all of that. Dream Breath. The Living Flame was because I was fishing for procs so that I could set everybody up with a full bore echo before the dot started happening so that I could give everybody like a decent Spirit Bloom hot. It was ugly. I had to zone out and swap on my healing amulet because normally I do keys with my DPS Onyx amulet. And I had to, we had a point where we were like, well, all right, we're not timing this. Everybody zone out, fix whatever talents you want to fix, put on any gear that you want to put on, spec just for this boss. And, come on, Tricky. Let's get a move on. And we'll finish this up. So I swapped out my healing ring. Because apparently I don't know why I didn't put it on in the first place. I guess I just didn't, maybe just raw ego. I didn't think I would need it. I don't have Big Slick in the city. I think I should get him tomorrow. I think that tomorrow will be the... Ah! Interference! Interference! $14 to $422. Oh, big gains. Cleared normal last week. Started progressing on heroic. Yeah, it's a good looking mount. I like that it's one of those mount grinds where they let you kind of ride it ahead of time, that you have like the toy version of Big Slick you can get on. Because it really feels like you're, you know, you're befriending him. You're working on it. I'm interfering, but I'm interfering in my own favor. Which is allowed. It's only cheating if it makes me not win. Garbage trinket from the vault. Like a 30 item level increase, but just isn't very good. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. I'm sorry. So we don't need another one. I can vendor it, I guess, for 30 gold. If I look at my snail rep, I am at, yeah, 620 of 700. So need more. Need one more day. Hoping for trinket drops in raid tonight. That's the dream. Okay, let's just do all these world quests, shall we? Just do the world quests. How hard could it be? Definitely won't get confused on how to do this. I'm picking Rosie. Rosie, Greg, and Slimes. That must be a reference to something, right? Snails fed until their energy is full. What do you want to eat? Mushrooms? Meat? What do you want to eat? Toss a treat favored... No, those are still the tricky treats. That's not what we're doing. It did eat the mushroom, though. I need to collect ambergris. Oh, it's going to drop it. I see. Okay. I'm on to your tricks, Caverns. You can only fool me with this thing about 7 or 8 times until I'm going to figure out that there's more steps. I've already shown him all 15 of the level 25 snail pets. We did that first. We did that right off the gate. 2. Keys will be fun. I need to do, I need worms crests, which means that I need to do, like, you know, what, 11 to 15 keys, is that right? Something like that. And what I've typically have been pugging my 11 to 15s. I know there are guild groups for them, but I tend to not be on at the times that they're doing them. But I need some, because if I get a worm crest, I can get my Rashok's. I want to basically crank my heroic Rashok card up to maximum, and I need 1 more worm crest, and then I've got 2 aspect crests ready for it. I also need a ton of aspect crests, but there's only so many 16 plus keys that I can stomach. I just need to, well, on one hand, my gear could be a lot better, and I would have an easier time in raid and in keys if I just cranked out all these keys and then got the upgrade materials to upgrade my gear. On the other hand, I'm starting to feel not like it's not fun anymore, but a little bit like, oh, it's so many keys and they're hard and I'm tired. And I don't know, I just need to pace it a little better, I guess. Solo shuffle is also another thing that I'm trying to pace myself on because it's currently miserable is my experience. My queue times are nice and short and my games are an ugly mess. But all I need to do is just kind of queue and try to win some try and go at least 3 and 3 so that I can work on the vicious war snail. So if I just got like 1 or 2 of those every day, there's nothing that says that I have to, you know, also I feel like I've left my world quest area behind. There's nothing that says that I have to be the best or do well or read chat or any of it. I just need to keep playing. But I think having done it a few times, the right move is to not do it on stream because it's quite frustrating. It's one of those things where you just kind of want to make your mistakes in peace. You just don't want anyone to see aside from the other people that are in your match. How are you feeling about Incorporeal so far? I really like it. I don't think that I have the universal opinion by any stretch. I've heard from quite a few people in chat that are not happy with it. I find it to be pretty reasonable. I wish they would get rid of Spiteful, but can't have everything that I want in my life. Not without any work, anyway. Glitter. All right, let's do that. Pugkey's desperate for healers. 410 healers get into 15s. I just don't have, like, the most patience to just sit and slam keys. But I would love to get the rest of my stuff kind of fully upgraded, especially because so yeah, I've got this hero chest with decent stats. It could I'd love to get that 5 of 5 as well. It's just that and then if I get a tier chest, then I can, you know, upgrade it cheapo with the flight stones and stuff. Hazel is stuck in combat. What is it? I would like to fly. Yeah, I have yet to do any pug keys this week, so I'd be a bit curious to see if my opinion on Incorporeal changes when if I'm in a random group, because I would only be able to take care of 1 of them on my own. The fact that you only ever get like 2 at the most is kind of nice. I can see how it'd be frustrating if you're the only person that will lift a finger to do anything about it, because you can't, I think most people probably can't do both of them on their own. And you can't make other people do it. But I think it's brand new, and as people get more used to it, I think it'll get taken care of pretty easily. I was pretty excited whenever I got like a, hey, they need me for this one, because the instant cast people would mostly get it. But it's nice that they have all ad types, so like literally any class has something that can do it. It's also a tiny bit rude with Spiteful that Spiteful keeps you in combat. So sometimes you get these incorporeals from the back after you're finished with combat and nobody's looking for them because you were still technically in combat because of Spiteful. So I think that that's a tiny bit annoying, but I'm more mad at Spiteful for that than anything. That one. Hibernate so I can deal with it. Tank taking a couple GCs to cast a CC is risky. This is true. This is true. Okay, we're not doing that. There's a lot of stuff going on up there. I also haven't done the Zakali Elders. I should probably... Why should I do the Zakali Elders? Well, transmog? Question mark? Is there any good reason for me to fight this guy? Probably not. Alright, let's do... Thank goodness they've added a group finder for this. Let's do this. We need to siphon some crumbling scoria and then slay the big wahuna. I'm just going to see if I can wait for a group though. World quest mob's really tough. I just did not do these world quests before they added a group finder for them. I just refused. Alright, we have a full group of 5. And down we go. Can I, like, stop him? Oh, it's a shield burn situation. Okay. Suggestions for the area chosen to investigate for the storyline quest. I haven't done that yet, actually. I understand that you get a portal to the area that you choose to investigate no matter what, so travel time's not really a concern. Oh, I see. I need to slice some... I need to siphon some power from the thingy. Oh, okay. 0 of 10 summoned. Oh, I see. So we kill these guys. So I probably should have used my item already. I just missed it. Yeah, I totally should have used my item before. Whoops, a daisy do. It's my first time doing this one. Yeah, so that gets you to 5. I'm gonna try it again over here, and then maybe I can go back. Maybe the bodies are still there? 6. Not seeming good. Not looking likely. We need 4. I think I'm not the only person that forgot to click some. Definitely some people did do it correctly though. I'm losing group members. Uh-oh. Oh. What do you mean? Interface action failed because of an add-on. Can I not do this in combat? Oh, I'm so upset with myself. Here, let's just kind of scoot on up the hill and... Oh, this is a rare, I see. Ay, okay. Well, if you fail at one thing, then maybe do something else for a while and go back to it. I don't have the Evoker Legendary, no. I've seen a couple people make it on my server. There's like a server-wide yell that somebody's reassembled it. I'm a bit not looking forward to it because it sounds like there's a bunch of doing. There's like some busy work to do after you get the drop for it. And it's going to cost like some gold, and I'm going to have to like find some crafters, and that seems like something I've spent this entire expansion avoiding. But it would be pretty petty of me to like refuse to use my class legendary if I had a drop just because I don't want to like talk to somebody. Oh, it's a region-wide announcement. Oh. Yeah, it's not so much the gold. It would be finding like a jewel crafter. You know? I know an engineer, so that's fine. I kind of know a blacksmith. I might be able to work with that. This is the worst and I hate it. Okay. I mean, at least there's some crumbling scoria here, so... Sanguinette, thank you very much for the 4-month resub. Appreciated. Also, Fell Bundle had a 6-month resub. Happy Cave Questing. You get the drop suddenly obliged to spend all that money. It would be annoying. I wonder, there must be some evokers that just don't have that much money that like will, you know, get really lucky and get it like an LFR or a normal raid or something, and they're just... I mean, I suppose there's also plenty of people that raid Heroic and Mythic that are probably broke too, but it would be rough to not be able to afford it. Okay. Did I kill any amount of these things in this process? Yes, thank goodness. Okay. That's one world quest finished. Let's go find ourselves a nice safe place to sit and figure out what the next one is. Trying to drink some coffee with no cream. She bought some yesterday. People adapt to it. I'm an oat milk girl myself, but people people do it. People getting it have guild support to get it made on the cheap. I mean, the map value still has to come from somewhere, but maybe. I will be right back. Alright. Alright, one of these. Yeah. Favorite races to play. I like gnomes. I'm not a gnome right now. I'm a Drakthir, but I like gnomes. I've also recently been on a bit of a Draenei kick. I made a Draenei Hunter alt, and I've been enjoying that more than I had anticipated. Details top. Alright, let's find another one of these things to do. The Corehound hides is pretty straightforward. I'm doing these for rep. That's what I'm telling myself. You're doing it for rep. I only got 90 rep from the last one. I guess some flight stones. You know what? I'm doing these to make them go away on my map. That's what I'm doing them for. Oh, just get me out of here. Let's go find a nice group of Corehounds to skin. I'm assuming people are like down here. Jam is my jam. I finally, after watching like 2+ seasons of... Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Why have I done this to myself? What's wrong with me? After having done 2+ seasons of watching Great British Bake Off, I finally talked myself into baking something. I made a pie. I made a pie. I made a WoW cookbook pie, actually. I, like, made a list, and I went shopping, and I bought ingredients, and then I made pastry, and I rested it, and I rolled it out, and I made a cherry pie from the WoW cookbook. I didn't have a pie tin, but then I was Googling and learning about different materials that people use for these things. And I really should be in healing spec. This happened to me last time as well. I'm a DPS, and it's a problem. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Rip. Yeah, give me 1 minute of res sickness, and then I'll swap to healing. And repair my gear, and then presumably by the time I get back over there, the res sickness won't be a problem. I cannot bake a cherry pie faster than a cat that can wink its eye. It took ages. It took a long time. It turned out real good, though. I baked it for a long time because I wasn't convinced on baking times for... I was not convinced on baking time in the cast iron because I know that cast iron's got a lot of thermal mass and it takes a long time to get up to temperature. And I didn't like preheat or blind bake or anything like that because it was like a latticed crust and I needed to seal it on top. So I basically just, you know, wung it in the oven for like what felt like almost an hour. But it baked really well. It's actually very, very tasty. It's a good recipe. I did use my own crust. I did a half shortening, half butter crust because I find those are a bit easier to work with. And also it's a good thing that I'm not like making crust for Mary Berry because presentation is not my strong point. I am very much like a patch it together and I'm very much a patchwork crust kind of person. Like, I'll roll it out as best as I can, and then it'll kind of get stuck, and then it'll kind of crack, and then I'll slap it in the pan, and I'll be like, all right, what do I need to repair to make this look sort of vaguely like a crust? Because mostly what I want is just to eat it. I don't mind, like, thick bits of layered pastry, so I will, I'll just keep, you know, wedging bits on until it looks reasonable. As long as it's not overworked. I did part of the Phoenix Wishwing pet, and then I got really lazy, and then I stopped doing it, and then I stuck all the materials that I'd collected so far in my bank. So I'm like a third of the way done. Made the banana bread from the first WoW cookbook. I guess I forgot that there was another WoW cookbook. I have the first one, and then I have the Hearthstone cookbook. I never did get the other one. I forgot they did another. You won't be auditioning. I was watching, I actually haven't seen the Canadian baking show. I was a bit worried that it would be, I was a bit concerned that it wouldn't have the same charm because part of what I like about the British baking show is how delightfully British everybody is. But I was watching clips of the I was watching clips from the Celebrity British Bake Off, the charity one that they do. And I thought, well, this is more my style. This makes me feel better about my baking because many celebrities, while being, you know, good at something, are like kind of average home bakers as opposed to really good at home bakers. And I enjoyed that. I thought, you know what I need to do is I just need to get famous enough that they put me on Canadian Celebrity Bake Off so that I don't have to be very good and I can just crack jokes and explode a pie and then have a nice time. I also don't know if they have a Canadian celebrity one, and I'm also not famous, but that's the move. I need one more core hound. I'm right behind you. Right behind you, chill vibes. Watch the kids bake off. They're amazing. Canadian one's different. A-list WoW celebrity. When Blizzard hosts a reality... I mean, they've been doing their little YouTube social media things. When they decide to host an in-person reality baking competition, and we're baking from the WoW cookbook, sign me up. You throw, like, what? Me? I know Lulaboo does it. I'm sure Aya's made some stuff. There's got to be other people that have done it. just get a handful of streamers and then stick them in a kitchen and see what happens. Can't possibly go wrong. All right. So that's all fine and good. There's one more world quest up here before Zakali Elders. This one at least gives Nif and Rep directly. What are we saying here? I've stayed healing spec because I'd like to think that I learned from my mistakes. I need to remember to plant the spear. Race to world's first pie. The thing, I mean, I don't know. I think one of the things that makes baking or cooking fun for me is my utter lack of standards. It's the fact that it's not going to be judged except for the fact that it's going to be eaten, you know? I like making things and then if they look weird, then it's fun. And as long as they taste all right, you know, if it's a little strange, then it's just a thing to do differently next time. But I enjoy there being basically no failure. It's pretty rare for me to make something that I won't eat, not because I'm very talented, but because I have no standards. So I think that a competition might suck some of the joy out of that. It might be more stressful than it's worth. It's my criteria. Would I eat that? Yeah, pretty much. The cherry pie is really good, though. I like that pastry a lot. Although it's pastry, it's hard to go wrong with pastry. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with making pastry that doesn't taste good. It can look horrible. It doesn't look amazing. It looks all right. It browned up nice in the cast. Actually, the cast iron did an amazing job, a gorgeous job on the bottom of that pie. But what I would do next time is I had a bear of a time trying to get the pie out of the pan because I couldn't leave it in the cast iron because it was a bit wet. Or it wasn't that wet, but I couldn't leave it in. I can't just stick my cast iron in the fridge with the pie in it for 3 days. It's gonna rust. So I needed to get the pie out so I could store it elsewhere. And this is it's a deep dish, deep sidewall cast iron. And I have so many regrets about everything. I have collected no spears. I have planted in no corpses. Even in groups, this quest is horrific. I can dispel that dot. That's helpful. Hard to go wrong with ingredients that taste fine. All bets are off when you start adding spices. I suppose so, but I don't know. I like spices. I use lots of them. I'm the kind of person that will double any recommendation for a spice to put into a thing. If it wants, like a half a teaspoon of cardamom, I'm sticking a full teaspoon in there. I want my food to taste like something. Where is that bear tank? Oh, they're way over there on the far side. This is very tough. I'm going to collect some spears so I feel like I'm accomplishing something. Here's one. Here's two. don't want to aggro more of them, but there's like no good place to stand. Ay, ay, ay. Zeester, thank you for the 31-month resub. Hello, what's the plan for today so far? Hello. I'm trying to do my weekly stuff, my weekly Niffin stuff. I'm doing some Caverns World quests, or attempting to. I did a little crafting at the beginning of the day. It's like 10:30. I think I'm pretty happy to just kind of poke around and get some Niffin rep for the day. Maybe do my sniffin' seeking. Get up on the rock like Lion King. There's another thingy over there. I had a thought. Oh yeah, Mikkel2501 also with a brand new sub. Thank you very much. Okay. Go team. First of all, remember to use the spear. Very good. 5 of 8. Zoom over here. Maybe use the spear again. Some dead stuff over there. 6 of 8. Get a couple more spears. I need one more spear, and then I need one more body, and then I can leave this hellish place. Kezo3, thank you for the 45-month resub. I think I'm in trouble. Perhaps I should leave. Uh-oh. That's a bad stunt. Let me have it. I want the thingy. Give it. Give it. Oy. Yeah. Oh dear. I think I'm gonna leave, because I think I'm not getting anywhere with that. And then I think I'm gonna look for a group and then maybe start one. Just has to be like a nice little tame, reasonable pull. I just need one more dead thing. If I heal this guy. Because there's only so many, like I only have one interrupt. And also I'm not really using it. No. No. Let me plant it. Let me plant it. This is such a mess. This is not worth it. I very much when I'm done with the Niffin rep, will never come back and do these Caldera quests. I may quit before then, honestly. I was momentarily bolstered by being allowed to I was bolstered by being able to join a group or list a group in the group finder for them. And I think that high is gone now. I think I'm over it. It's not so much fun. Bake a delicious pie crust. Never looks pretty. Just tell everyone it's rustic. That area stinks. Not so fun. Not so fun. I could do the world boss, and I would get 950 gold, and it's unclear if that would recover my repair. You know what? Let's join a group for the world boss, but then I'll whatchamacallit, heal. I'm in healing spec, and that might actually help. Usually I end up DPSing, and then there's just nobody healing. Although last time I did this, there was only one tank, and the poor guy, everybody in the group was like, tank them apart, and he's like, I have one body. I am one tank. There isn't another tank. What do you want me to do? And I felt awful for him. They were doing their best. Okay. Join a group for that. Hopefully we end up with more than one tank. Anything that I want loot-wise from Zakali Elders? Transmog. I could get the normal, well, I could get the normal Aberrus Helm appearance. I could get that. When you upgrade a hero track piece 5 times, it becomes the Mythic appearance. So I have the Mythic Shaman helmet combined with the Mythic Evoker shoulders. And then it's a lot of purple and blue. There's just the one world boss in the Caverns. There's no rotating. It's always the same. So we have one tank. We're definitely going to want another tank. At least we have a couple healers. Friendly tank comes to round up mobs in a big pull. Do I want to throw a file on? Nah. Very good. But yeah, the thing I would do next time to make the cherry pie easier is I would fold a couple of strips of aluminum foil and then kind of crisscross them over the bottom of the pan with like some bits sticking out of the side so that I can lift the pie out of the pan in one piece, because it ended up being kind of it wasn't stuck to the pan at all, but it ended up being kind of like a jiggle and shake, and there was some amount of carnage that was involved with removing the pie from the pan. There's it'll all get eaten, but it may, you know, resemble pie to a lesser extent than it once did. Only one boss world quest, but there are 2 bosses to kill? Oh. I did not know that. What's the other one? I will say, though, that my cherry pie baking adventure, while delicious and satisfying and a great way to spend a day, way more expensive than just like buying a pie or even like buying pie filling. You know, even with frozen ingredients and stuff, it was not a cheap pie. But I do have ingredients, like I have enough butter and shortening to make additional pastries, so I can do more. I could maybe do like a quiche this week, pretty reasonably. Actually, I bet a quiche would cook up real good in the cast iron. Grease-proof paper under pies. Oh no, pie pastry I always do just straight in whatever dish it is. And if the pastry's done right, it shouldn't stick. If it's fully cooked, it shouldn't stick at all. Grease-proof paper, or even like a silicone mat, I'll use under like cookies. Or sometimes brownies, if I'm doing them in like a metal pan and I really want to get them out easier, like Nanaimo bars. I've lined a pan with that from Nanaimo bars before to help get them out in one piece. But no, pastry usually just lifts right out. It's got enough grease in it. I'm still kind of trying to get the hang of which of my 2 set bonus, basically, because it gives you a hot after Spirit Bloom. And you want to get a lot of them. So you want to echo a few times. You want to Temporal Embrace to get more echoes. so that you're casting lots of spirit blooms. And then the longer you charge the spirit bloom itself, the more people it will hit outside of that, which is great when you're trying to spread it. But it will split the spirit bloom healing, is what I've come to understand. I'm trying to just mouse over my hots all the time to like figure out how big they are. And it depends on there's kind of some work that you can do in like picking and choosing where you want your big hots to go versus your smaller ones. So if you use full echo and you use full echo and use just a single cast spirit bloom, the target that has both of those, assuming it's the same person, is going to have a huge heal and a huge hot, which is nice for tanks if they're like under a lot of pressure. And then people that had the full echo on a single spirit bloom will have a pretty good, like a pretty healthy, pretty decent hot. But then if you do this, you do like a tip that scales like a full rank one, and maybe it was like a temporal anomaly echo, it's still going to be a hot, but it's going to be like 8k compared to like 25. And that's not necessarily a problem. It's still a lot of healing when you can put it out on a lot of people. But, I just refreshed my thing. It's definitely something I've been like thinking about and working with, is trying to get the hang of what I want to use what I want to use my anomalies on, where I want to put my echoes, and which target I want to cast the spirit bloom on, and how far I want to charge it. I'm sure there's probably simpler answers than that, but it feels difficult to work out for me. Is the other one? Oh, he's way over there. Okay. Makes it easier to take out, put it under everything. I see. Am I going to get the new Firelands Time Walking pet? I did Firelands Time Walking to get the pet thing last time that Firelands Time Walking was around, so that part of it's done. It's the rest of it that I haven't done. I think I'm going to procrastinate another number of weeks. Just to let the people that got the item from Firelands this time around kind of get through their grind. Maybe until 10.15. I feel like they were fixing it. I don't remember if it was a hotfix or 10.15 change, but there were some changes coming to the ungrow section of that grind that were supposed to make it much better. No, the rest of it does not need to be done while Time Walking is active. As long as you get the feather from Firelands, you can chill as long as you want on the rest of it. So that tank's got a 33k hot, whereas somebody else might have only like 3k. I think, yeah. Sometimes I miss Priest just because it was a little tiny bit, there were less options. Sometimes too many options can kind of get overwhelming, but Evoker is fun, and I like that the skill ceiling is up there. Okay, I'm allowed to leave, and I'm going to do so post-haste. Let's get out of there. There's a rare, and I don't care. Can't make me. When I did the Time Walking raid section of it last Firelands Time Walking, it was very much harder than I thought it would be. We did get through it, but it was it took a little bit of doing. Let's do this. Also, 10:49. Do I want to do researchers under fire? Do I want to like time remaining? No. I want to start at the beginning of researchers, and I want to join a group is what I want to do. I want to try and get like a good reward pack, I think, for it would be good. Is this a straightforward world quest? Just kill 10 things? Hi, Hazel. Hi, chat. Hi, Lexi. How are you doing today? Might make a batch of deviled eggs today. Oh. I want to make bread because I thought to myself, I'm no good at shaping loaves. I'm rubbish, terrible at shaping loaves. So I watched a bunch of videos of people doing it, and I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And now I want to try it again. So part of me wants to make some bread. I don't have, one item that I want to acquire is I don't own a bench scraper. And I think that for working with wet doughs, that might help me a lot. Because I tend to, when I'm baking bread, run into the pitfall of adding too much flour to keep the dough from being too sticky. And what I've discovered is that sometimes your dough is going to be sticky and you're going to have to work it anyways. And you can, I mean, my general strategy is just let the bread machine do it, but I want to give hand another try. And I think a bench scraper will be helpful in working it when it's deciding to become, you know, flubber. Tracy, thank you for the 16-month resub. It's been too long since I've got a live stream. Hope you're doing well. Keep up the great work. Thank you very, very much. I shape a loaf when you can make focaccia. It's funny. I love focaccia bread, but the focaccia bread that I love is the one that my mom made growing up. And it's occurred to me as I've looked at the recipe and I've looked at traditional focaccia that the focaccia bread I'm used to is not really focaccia bread. It is basically, it's like an olive oil based, you know, like a rustic herb loaf. And it's very nice and it's really yummy dipped into like a balsamic vinegar olive oil dressing. However, traditional focaccia bread, very flat, dimpled, crunchy kind of crust that's got olive oil all over the top of it. And that is not what I am. That is not what I think of. I understand that I'm like the incorrect one, but I find them too, like, I like the flavor, but I don't really like I want something bigger and fluffier and herbier with less crunchy oil and more dipping in oil. I've run out of enemies. They're all afraid of me. They've left. Got my brother-in-law proofing kit that included a scraper. He's rewarded us with sourdough. Get 2. One for transferring chopped vegetables to pans, the other for baking. I suppose so. I've never felt deprived when I've been transferring chopped vegetables, though. I usually just kind of chop them on a cutting board and then I like put them in the pan. And I've never been like, oh man, if only there was a better way. Sometimes I have a problem and then sometimes I'm fine. Where are the rest of these guys? Ghostly researchers failed experiments. I was killing them. Are there more above, maybe? Perhaps? Also, thirsty. I wonder if the price of the barter brick quest requirements has come down. The Fisher friends and whatnot. That's a dragon race. Some saxifrage. Mix random amounts of yeast water. See what bread texture I invent. Rosemary and garlic. Use the knife I just chopped veggies with like a bench scraper. Yeah, I suppose maybe I do that. I also perhaps don't chop veggies as often as I perhaps should. I do eat vegetables. Do they comprise enough of my diet? Questionable. Arguable. Unlikely. I love a good steamed broccoli, though. I buy heads of broccoli just to chop them up and steam them, and I just eat them straight. Fisher friends weren't terrible. Okay. How are the worms? How are the plants? How's the fishing? How's the cross-stitching? Worms are good. Worms are good. They're quiet. They're very low maintenance. They eat their food, but not super fast. They seem fine. What's new? I have been doing some fishing. That's kind of new. I've been doing some rock fishing. That's been very exciting. I made my own beer-battered fish and chips the other day with fish that I had pulled from the ocean myself. I was pretty happy with that. I was honestly more proud to have filleted it and deboned it than I was to have caught it. I was also proud to catch it, but you know, it was the fish did me a solid by biting. So all I was in the right place at the right time. But you know, getting the bones out of the thing, that's a project. I am going. Oh, I finished it. Oh, there's 2 of them up. Well, no, one of them is that quest that I am too lazy to do right now. Let's go snuff the shadow flame. French fries count as vegetables. Cross-stitching has sadly taken a real backseat. It's so hard for me to want to cross-stitch when the weather's this nice because I could be fishing or gardening. When I have extra time, I could be fussing with my plants or I could be out fishing or doing some auxiliary activity to those 2 things. I think that needlework and fiber arts may be more of a winter thing for me because I was getting quite bummed out. I was getting quite sad because I was thinking I'm having so much fun fishing and hiking. I'm having so much fun gardening on my little balcony. I'm going to get raspberries. I'm very excited. That in the winter, I can't really do either of these things because it's I mean, you can fish in the winter, but it's cold. It's chilly out there. I've done this quest before. This is not how we do it. And I was getting a bit sad in advance. I know it's only May, but like later when the winter ends, I'm like, what do I do all winter? It's not, how fun is that? But then I remembered that, you know, in the wintertime you can bake things and you can, you know, you can do your cross stitch and you can play games. What else do you do in the winter? I don't know. I've lived through a few winters, you know, I've made it to 30 something. I've lived through them, but I guess it's just so nice to have the nice bright long days and all the outside stuff that I'm missing it in advance. It's not very Buddhist of me. Outside is Pog. Do you think I'll finish the stocking by Christmas? Not at this rate. Not at this rate. I would need to actually put some time into it during the warmer months, and it's very hard to fathom that. You could make an argument for doing in the evenings, but I've been doing keys in the evenings. I've been doing Mythic Plus. I'm in the mood to stitch when the weather's bad. Yeah, it's very much kind of a rainy day thing. And we might get some rainy days in the summer and the spring, but not so many of them lately. It's been dry. Reading books while sipping a hot chocolate near the fire. Mm-hmm. Books are an all-year thing for me. Books are an all-year, but always at the very end of the day in bed thing. I only read in bed, but I always read in bed before I go to sleep. Every single night. I'm thoroughly enjoying... I forget the name of it. It's the fourth book. It's the fourth book in the Dune series. It's after the time skip. I'm having a grand time with it. It's awesome. Miss the sunlight during winter. Nothing's worse than work ending. It's already dark outside. I've been like dreaming about and researching different places that I might live one day. Like different communities that I could potentially afford a house in if I, you know, save all my money. And I'm like thinking of them in criteria of like, well, what are the nearby fishing spots like? What are the nearby grocery stores? What are the house values? What's the sunshine? What's the weather like? Because sometimes there's pretty big variations in weather, even within like an hour drive. You know, how much rain, sun? Can I grow stuff here? Are the potatoes going to be okay? Could I grow peppers? You know, like, is there... And then I'm thinking, well, all this gardening and fishing stuff that I'm planning is really mostly relevant for, you know, May through October. What am I going to do for November through March, April? Well, honestly, March and April are busy planning and starting things for May, so that's fine. December is fun because it's got Christmas in it. It's basically... November, February, and January are like the really grim months that are like really dark and there's not a lot of fun things going on. Dune 4. More Dune. Dune 4. Where'd the sand go? What genre do you like to read? Fantasy and sci-fi. A lot of fantasy and sci-fi. But I do also like nonfiction. I like reading biographies. I like reading, well, do I like reading self-help books or do I have this delusion that I'm going to read the right one and then suddenly become somebody else? I have read a lot of self-help books. I read, what else do I like? I don't know, fiction, stories, a lot of fantasy adjacent stuff. I like epic fantasy. I like big, long series that have stood the test of time. I like A Song of Ice and Fire. I recently finished Wheel of Time. I know Dune is science fiction, but I'm working through Dune. I'm kind of due for a Lord of the Rings reread. I haven't read that one in a long time, and I feel like that would keep me busy for a bit as well. Hi. What's up here? Another dragon race? I don't think I'm on book 5 yet, no. I've never read The Silmarillion. It looks more like a reference novel than an entertainment piece. It seems like the kind of thing that nerds read to try to prove how much of a nerd they are. I think that if you, for like a real Tolkien devotee, it's probably life-changing. But if you're just kind of casually reading Tolkien because you just want like a fun story with like elves and hobbits and stuff, then The Silmarillion's a little bit much. But that's just me. The thing that throws me off a tiny bit of The Lord of the Rings, though, is I wish that there were a couple more women in it. It's not that there's no women in the story, but there's not many, and they're not in much of it. And sometimes I wish that there were more, because it would make for a more interesting breadth of characters. Slime-sheathed shell. Oh, I could do... Oh, that'll be really fun, engaging stream content. Let's do that 10 times. Let's do some more World Quest first. What's been happening to Leto? Well, I don't want to spoil anything if people haven't read the first 3 yet. I know it's only like... This book's been out for like 40 years, but I wouldn't want to spoil it. Leto's been doing a little bit of changing. You know, it's like puberty, except a little more dramatic. Oh, jeez. You know what I'm bummed about is that my favorite part of the Dune series is never going to be made into the movies. The Dune movies that they're making with Timothy Chalamet, and then apparently Austin Butler is going to be the Harkonnen nephew. They're not going to get that far. They're not doing anything even close to the time skip. I think they're doing 2 movies to cover the first book, and then 1 movie to cover the second book is the plan, and then that's like the end. Leto is a character in Dune. Screwtape, thank you for the 3-month resub. They might do. They do like money. Maybe. Perhaps. There's a real weird period in between... Basically, book 3. Book 3 of Dune, I feel like, would be hard to make into a good movie, because I feel like it was a little bit of a struggle making it a good book. It was, don't get me wrong, it's fine. I read it. I think it's important to bridge between books 2 and 4. But it's one of those things where I feel like as a standalone work of fiction, it's very much an investment. What am I doing with my life? You hungry? You hungry. That's what I'm doing with my life. That's right. Okay. Heaven forbid it be simple. I've done this one before too. There we go. People said for the longest time the whole series is unfilmable. Really? I wonder why. I want to rewatch the first Dune, actually. I saw it in theaters when it came out in 2021, and I enjoyed that. And I want to watch it again before the next one comes out, because I feel like now that I've read the first one, I can be insufferable about it. Just to myself, but... Sometimes it's fun to watch something and be like, that wasn't the way in the book. In the book, this thing would have been like this. And that still suit is inaccurate and would let all of the moisture from your eyeballs go and whatever. Hard to film internal monologue motivations. Yeah, that's a fair point. Internal angst about the consequences of foresight. Which I know that there's a lot of very real and valid political and ecological commentary in Dune, and that's very much intentional. But parts of it really seem like the big cautionary story about what if you shouldn't see into the future, as though that's going to be a big problem. And I mean, maybe I'm just, you know, maybe it will be, but it's very funny of like, oh man, you could be an oracle but at what cost? And that's interesting for the story, but it's something that they harp on for so long and in so many ways that sometimes it feels like I'm like, I don't, okay. You got me. I won't see into the future. I will, you got it. You betcha. I'm out of snails. Am I tired? I might be tired of getting snails out of their shells. I should give the David Lynch movie a go. If you know the book, it's fun. People didn't like it because they didn't read the book. It has Sting and a Speedo. Oh man. You do know how to sell something to me. Didn't like it. Terrible movie, wildly homophobic. Yeah, it's not so good. Mind reading tech is getting scary. Mind reading is very scary, and I think not crazy far off. Future seeing. That's the thing that I'm not anticipating. Like scene for scene lets you pretend you're not blind even if you don't have eyes anymore because of the whole incident. That kind of thing is not as much of a concern. Isn't that the Mirazond idea? Knowing the future is bad? Oh, maybe. My main connection with Mirazond is that I use him to get a minion from my last opponent's warband, and then I go, I wasn't paying attention during my last opponent's fight in Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I know he's in WoW, but I don't pay a wild amount of attention to what the characters are doing. Sometimes I recognize a name and I'll see one. I'll be like, oh, hey, they're still here. I thought we killed them before. Afraid of the one who wants to see what's in my head, not the one that sees it. I used to, back in the early days of discussions about internet privacy and internet tracking and people like scraping social media profiles and finding out lots of information about you. Back in, high school and whatever, my stance on it was that it was a lot of fear-mongering because even if somebody knows everything about me, what are they going to do with that? It's such generic. At the time I was like, well, who cares if they know that I like Avril Lavigne or whatever? I couldn't figure out why it would be a problem for people to know all of this. I didn't think I was that special that information was going to be of use to anybody because it hadn't occurred to me that it could be used in aggregate for advertising. And then also it hadn't occurred to me how insidious targeted ads could be yet because they weren't very good at the time. I think nowadays I'm much more... And also the fact of internet culture of stalking and doxing as well is also kind of a concern where maybe somebody does want to know the specifics and maybe they will use it in a way that you're not comfortable with and that you can't just trust that won't happen because you think you're too boring to be stalked. Was another thing. But at the time, I was like, who cares? We definitely need to have the Facebooks. You do like Avril Lavigne? I don't have a huge take on her anymore, but at 14 or 13, I had the CD. I had a gray and black striped necktie that I wore over a vest. I didn't have the vest. I did have the necktie. Necktie plus the t-shirt. Bonus points if it's a short sleeve t-shirt over a long sleeve shirt with the stripy silk necktie. Got to be a skinny one. Can't be too wide. And a formal hat. That was the uniform. Not mad at the algorithm. Get D&D ads on Instagram. Could be worse. Kids these days don't know about wearing a short sleeve over a long sleeve. I don't know. I bet some of them know. They seem interested in fashions of the past. They seem interested in kind of viewing everything that anybody wore in the last 30 years and then pick and choosing whatever feels fun for them, which I think is brilliant. What I hated were when they would sell a shirt that had the illusion of being a short sleeve shirt over a long sleeve shirt, but it was in fact just one shirt that was sewn together. They had sewn long sleeves into the side of the short sleeves. I hated that because I thought the whole point of the short and long sleeve was that A, I can mix and match, and B, in different weather, I could just wear one. The fact that they were inseparable, I thought defeated the entire purpose, and I was very against it. I think other people liked them, and I must have had at least one, but not for me. I had the Zip Up Fleece Roots Canada hoodie that I got in like an airport or something that was really essential to my older child, younger teen years. I want to say I had a red one with a white Canada maple leaf on it, and then my sister had the reverse. It wasn't a huge thing, but they're definitely wearing like Canada stuff was like a thing, which is a bit strange when it's like I get, you know, you travel somewhere and you get a shirt in an airport or whatever, and then it's like a souvenir. But like when you live there, it's a little bit funny. Did I do all of my world quests with the exception of this one delightful pet battle world quest, which I plan on doing 10 times in a row for an achievement? Am I good? Did I want the accurate depiction of the flag? That sounds like me. I don't think it was up to me. Having a sister that was close to me in age, we got a lot of gifts that were basically the same thing in 2 different colors, and you just kind of got whatever color you got. I don't think we ever swapped. Maybe when we were older, but generally speaking, we just got the same thing. All kinds of stuff. Okay. How am I doing on Niffin rep? I am only 1344. I'm not even... Oh, I thought I would have more of that than by now. I figured I would have opened this thing. I did all the world quests. I guess I need to do more of these. And then Researchers Under Fire will help as well. I could start that at 11:30 actually. So here, let's go kill some time. Do some pet battles. This will be really riveting, super interesting, very exciting. Yeah, I've never gotten a full tier rank of Researchers Under Fire, but I'll try joining a group this time. I should have done it yesterday off stream. I bet you on Tuesday there's like a lot of groups with a lot of activity there. Delver Marde. I'm pretty sure if I look at my pet battle achievement. Yeah, I need him for all of them, and he's the only person I need for all of them. So if I look, and it's called Delver Marde. We can just, I'm just going to actually attach all these right now. This will be a really fun data entry task. I get my pet battle strategies from Zufus. And I'm just going to go grab scripts that match all of these strategies. So what is the, if I wanted to copy a link? No. Is there an easy way for me to find, maybe in the notes? Yeah, the specific strategy. Because I just want to grab the script for it. This might work. Script for that one. And then I also want to double check and make sure that everybody's level 25 because sometimes they're not. And then I have to go back and do it again. So here, here, and then we grab that. And then we grab that. I'm just going to pop all the scripts in at once. And then it should be a pretty straightforward thing. Hopefully the breeds don't really do me much trouble here. I heard a subscription notification. They do happen. I think sometimes my brain just tunes them out. I might need a new sound. I might need to change my sound. I've had that one for years, and I think my brain just sometimes unhears it because I've heard it 3 times. Boss Beardman. Thank you very much, Boss Beardman, for your brand new sub. Appreciate it. Time to prep for the raid. See y'all later. Have a lovely day / evening. Have a wonderful raid night. Pleasant but unobtrusive sound. I do like it. I do like it. I like that it you can kind of finish your sentence. It doesn't speech jam you, so that you can keep a little bit of the flow of what you were doing. But I also don't like missing subs. That's not very nice. Let's grab this one. And then Elemental. Some of them have such straightforward strategies that you could argue that you don't really need the script. And that's probably true, but I think that I'll have a better time executing this on stream with a full set of scripts. Should be pretty straightforward. Slot 1 is the new wild pet Rock Martin 111. Strange. Let's attach this script and then change the rock martin, I guess. I don't know if I trust that. Oh, my rock martin's not fully leveled. I wonder if it'll work without it. I'm just going to replace that strategy, I think. Oh, it's RNG. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm going to level the rock martin then. I'm going to put the rock martin in the strat. That must be a tough fight. We're going to put the rock martin in. I need to upgrade him a few times. I need to give him a little bit of experience, which is pretty easy because we can actually buy some from the guy. I might not have actually, or pardon me, from Delver Marte. Yeah, give me 2 of these. I'm pretty sure I at least have upgraded to rare. Yeah, okay, good. $24, $25. Excuse me. I have a feeling he would be hard to speech jam. I don't think that's the case. I get speech jammed by my own thoughts. I get speech jammed by not even actual sounds. Don't think I've captured a wild pet in the Dragonelle since Dragonflight launched. Should work on that. It's a fun project. There's a lot of wild pets in the Dragonelles that have kind of a trick to them, like a special item that you need to pick up in order to be able to see them. That kind of thing. So Wowhead was my best friend when I was working on that. I still need a few more from the Caverns. Okay. And then the humanoid one. I'm hoping that that flying strategy works out pretty nicely. There weren't very many strategies posted for it, so it's possible that it's a spicy one. Let's grab the magic strat. I could probably stand to just type the strat ID number into my URL bar. That might be faster. So if that's 19094. Yeah. Mechanical cockroach. They only need to work once. 19069. Cool, okay. So I now have a strat for each team type, and I have a script and a team saved to all of them. So I'm just going to start at the top of my list and have at it. That was the most annoying part. Give Rock Martin some rocks. Most annoying family familiar battle to work on. The mob that respawns and aggroes while you stand there. Oh, wonder how many people contribute. There are regulars for sure. A lot of the strategies are by Dragons After Dark. A lot of them are by Lazy. There are other names, but those ones come up a fair high amount. There's people that get on PTR and put in a lot of work to come up with good strats for all these things. Still working on the Falcosaur mounts and pets from Legion. Some of the Maldraxxus pet battles were pretty bad. Oh, those ones... Eventually, I think I found a strat that worked really consistently for me for them. But... there were some ugly ones out there. I liked doing Pet Battle World quests in Dragonflight, or Shadowlands. Why was that? Was it for emissaries? I think it might have been for like the... Were they called emissaries? I forget. Callings, maybe? I miss those. I liked the every 3-day rotating, do world quests in XYZ zone and get your big batch of stuff. I liked that better than the weekly wrapper. I miss that some. Watch any fun movies or shows? I've been pretty much exclusively watching British Bake Off. And then I've been trying to wrestle up the urge to bake from having watched that. Thus the cherry pie that I made, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Have I seen any movies? What did I watch? I put on a movie recently. Don't really remember. It can't have been that good. I've been spending most of my time, most of my downtime, crafting, I guess? That can't be right. How much time can one person spend crafting? Keys. I've been spending a decent chunk on Mythic Plus. Any idea what it was about? The only thing I remember... it was actually kind of fun. I watched Mamma Mia again. I drank a glass of scotch and I put on Mamma Mia. I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I'm like, this will be fun. And it was fun. It was fun. It was Meryl Streep dancing her heart out. Also Miss Emissaries. I like a good musical. It mostly just made me want to take a vacation in Greece. Wholesome and fun. It's a cute movie. It's not crazy long. It was on Canadian Netflix, I think, and it was a good one to put on. I don't think I needed the scotch. I think I was a bit not hungover, but like dehydrated the next morning. And I remember thinking that I probably could have just had like a smoothie. For alchemy can be profitable, but for it to be profitable, you're going to want to work on your profession knowledge. Your specialization points are going to be very important. So getting your skill up is good, but getting points in all of these things is what's going to make it really profitable, because just straight up crafting wise, without all of the extra like resourcefulness and inspiration and whatnot, and like the multi-craft that you get from this kind of thing, you're not going to be making any gold with it. Grapes are fruit. Wine from grapes, therefore, wine is a fruit. I have a big glass jug of cherry juice left over from making this pie. I only needed like a half a cup of extra juice for the pie. And now I have this big thing of cherry juice that I paid like $9 for, because there's no such thing as cheap juice here. Although it's a local one. I picked it because the logo was cute. It's from Chilliwack. It was a local cherry juice. So maybe I'll make... What do you do with cherry juice? Drink it? Cocktails? Smoothies? More pies? I don't know. Make some cherry wine? I don't think I'm brave enough to ferment anything. Solid thing to craft for gold. It changes on a day-to-day basis based on map values. Like, the prices are always fluctuating. I use an add-on called Craft Sim to check the math for me and find out if something is profitable. Because something that makes me a lot of gold on Monday might be a total loss to craft on a Tuesday. You could be brave enough to ferment. I think maybe one day. I have projects. Honestly, alcohol is not something I'm in a giant pursuit of. I don't think I need to homebrew anything. I think that that's not a big thing for me. But soap making, which is not fermenting. I would ferment like kimchi. I'd ferment some cabbage. Maybe. That kind of thing. Always get 3-star flasks. A lot of recipes you cannot guarantee 3-star flasks unless you're going to put lesser illustrious insight into them, which takes metal. A lot of things you need to proc an inspiration proc in order to get the 3-star version. Flavorful fish. Yeah, I haven't had kimchi in a while. I need to overhaul my menu. I need to overhaul my home menu. The Hazel Cafe. I've been making mostly the same things recently. It's hard when you get not exactly depressed, but just kind of like overwhelmed. It's hard to keep up with cooking when you're not feeling like keeping up with anything. And it's very easy to just eat like survival food, basically. A lot of craft dinner. But I made a pie. I steamed some broccoli. I want to make another shepherd's pie. This is a long strategy. I think we're still on aquatic, which was the top of the list. It is working, but I think researchers under fire is going to start sooner rather than later. And we are still very much... We're winning, but we are on the top of this list. Delver Marte must be a difficult fight. This must be a finicky one. I guess it's also maybe a bit tough for elemental pets. Maybe they have a lot of water moves. Certainly Swaggy does. This fight's very RNG. Okay. Working on knife skills. I have finally gotten used to using my pinchy to actually hold the top of the blade of the knife and then have the handle of it down here. For a long time, I couldn't fathom that, and I would just kind of like ham fist grip the thing. And I've finally gotten used to actually having a couple of fingers, not on the sharp part, obviously, but like for better knife control. The claw hand on the other side, I'll do it, but I don't feel super in control about it, and sometimes I still invent things. But this is going to be worth it, because when we win this fight, we're going to get an achievement. And every fight that we're going to win, we're going to get an achievement. It'll be worth it. It'll pay off. One thing I was thinking about was, how's my stream background lately? It's okay. You got a little glow back there. You got some shelf. You got the plushies. You could never get rid of the moonkin. It's just got too much feeling. I know my lighting's super inconsistent, but I've just been kind of fine with it, I suppose, because it seems to be about as well. I would like to be better lit, but I know I have a tendency to overexpose everything. And also, there's only so long you can stare at bright lights coming from the front of you. And I already have a fair amount of software brightening helping me out, and I don't want to overdo that either, so it's all right. Sometimes I imagine, what would I do if I was trying to make over my stream to look like hyper professional? I don't know. New alerts, maybe? A couple more emotes. Aquatic Battler of the Zaralek Cavern. I wonder if any of these are, like, fast? Or if they're all awful. Because Researchers Under Fire starts in, like, 3 minutes. Which you'd think would be a perfectly good amount of time to do a fight in. We'll try Beast. We'll try it with Beast. Maybe Beast will go faster. Don't do Elemental. Okay. It's a long one. Move the blade through vegetables. Much better than pushing straight down. Sharp knife does wonders too. I'm definitely not a fast chopper. You know, some people, they'll get all their stuff out and they'll go... I can do it a little, like I'll do garlic. If I'm mincing garlic and I have a reason to mince it instead of pressing it, then I can kind of do like the little things with the rocking motion. But if I'm just doing like a big batch of carrots or something, I can't do the double speed. I can't do the up-tempo chopping because I'm going to lose control of the whole thing and say goodbye to a finger. It's not a good idea for me. I'm also not cooking huge quantities of food or making anything in a hurry. I think I'm quite glad that I don't work in a kitchen and that if I'm making dinner, I can kind of afford to put on some music and hang out in the kitchen for a while. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to take ages over it, but there's no pressure for me to do anything super hyper fast. I thought fingers grow back. They do if you're, what is it, a starfish? I think. I have questions about starfish. I saw a number of them a week or so ago. Big purple starfish, cartoon-looking starfish. And I need to know what their deal is. They were just kind of attached to rocks. Like, I don't know. They were just sitting there, very stationary, like objects rather than animals. But they are animals. They eat things. They move. You know, it's not like a barnacle. They... What do they do? What do they like? What does a happy starfish look like? What are they for? How do they procreate? I could really, oh no, I could use a good Wikipedia article. All right, we're going to have to run that one back, but I think I'm going to go prep for Researchers Under Fire because I'd love to join a group and do this properly and get like a good outcome. So even if this is going to take like half an hour, I want to go start it like right at the top. With like a full raid group. Yeah. Taragosa, thank you for the 35-month resub. I have a whitelist function in my blocker that I can turn on and off, so depending on the time of day and how productive I need to be. I like that you can see what the items are. What about like outline lights? Well, there are like I have on the back of that shelf, I have an LED strip mounted to it. I had one that was kind of sewn to the back of the bench as well, but it just tends to fall down every time I open the bench because I do use that for storage. And I don't like having LEDs where the actual light itself is visible in the shop because it'll cause some of them are annoying, and depending on what, they can cause strobing with the wrong settings, and it's just one more thing to worry about. So I like having them kind of hidden against it, like reflecting off of stuff, basically. It's just because of the, like, in a dark room, they show up more visibly. I think it's fine. I was just, I don't know. I was wondering if this is as great as we're ever going to get, or if there are further heights of, you know, streaminess that we could do. Zionor, thank you very much for giving out some gift subs. Congrats to those who picked those up. Titan forces cleared. Yeah. I've never done this in a raid group before. I'm quite excited. I have high hopes. I'm looking for a big bundle of rewards at the end of this. Yeah, green screening I think is not my thing. People do really cool stuff with it, but in my personal experience, it is more effort than it's worth. It is easier to make it look good for a short period of time than for every day for multiple hours a day. And I just don't like the vibe of it. It just feels a bit zoomed to me to just like, it's just not really, I like when I look at streams being able to see people's backgrounds and what they've chosen to put as actual items. I like seeing their actual space. And I guess you could do a fake actual space. I could like, you know, grab like an interior design Instagram shot and then green screen myself over that and then problem solved. But I think that you lose something. You lose something when you do it in post. Or not in post, but you know what I mean. It does look really cool for some people, but I don't think it's my vibe. I want to click on something, but everybody's so fast. Turned 40 this weekend. I give the gift of Hazel to a few random people. Happy birthday! Big milestone. Marine biology was interesting. Took an entire year to study. Had a whole section to learn about starfish. They procreate through stagmentation. They rip one of their legs off and the starfish. Oh, you rip one off and a new one grows. Do they do that on purpose? Do they have like a coming of age ceremony where all of the starfish meet up around like a little bubbly thing, and then the young starfish that's ready to become an adult just like grabs one leg with the other legs and goes, "Arr!" And then just like flings it into the surf, and then you can see it like poking at little baby eyes, and then they all go, one of us, one of us. I'm sure they don't do it on purpose. I'm sure it's more like something tried to eat it and then like coughed up a bit of starfish and then it made a new one, but like I'm imagining them self-removing limbs in order to procreate from them, and that's very metal. pretty hardcore. Cave boulders. This is a wildly different experience in a group, by the way. Joining a raid group and coming right at the top of the event seems to be dramatically different from doing it just on your own whenever you swing through. I also need to figure out sea cucumbers because I accidentally caught one with my fishing line, and then I got it off and it didn't hurt me, but it wasn't really going, and I got it as far back into the water as I could, but I don't want it to get caught in a tide pool and get all dry. No, I didn't mean to catch it. I meant I put it back. I was a bit worried that he wasn't gonna. I wanted him to kind of like, he had like some little wiggly looking things, and I wanted him to wiggle away on them. Tierney, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, guys. Hope you had a wonderful stream. Oh, I got an achievement. Oh, news to me. Some Shadowcrest fragments. I'm paranoid of running out of flight stones, which is ridiculous when I never use them and I often end up capped. But I have this idea that one day I'm just going to need to upgrade so many things that I'll have to do. I don't know what you would even do if you were out of flight stones. World quests? Keys? More keys? Lots of keys? Pickle the sea cucumber. They were large too. They were big and it was very, very heavy. I guess it makes sense that it was filled with water, but Taliesin is an expert on starfish. I need some starfish facts. Never think of a starfish, not think of the one off Finding Nemo. And then they had such different colors. I wanted to know if the different colors were different, like, types of starfish, or if it's kind of like cats, where it's like this is a cat and this is a cat, and they're both cats. They're both the same type of cat, but they look wildly different. Any use to farming time lost in war mode? Quieter, no blue dragon spawn yet? I think so. The way a lot of people will do time lost is they will key into mount finding discords that notify people or like put out pings whenever they're found on low pop servers, especially because time lost can now be shared. I think multiple people can get it from one kill. So I would look up the mount hunting discord. Maybe the secret finding discord too. No, not the secret finding discord. I'm not a member of either of them, but I know there are discords that do that. Guide to preservation evoker for noobs, please. Oh, I feel like I'm a preservation evoker noob. I was telling stream earlier today. Yesterday I suffered through because it was miserable. I mean, it was fun because I was with my friends, but oh my gosh. It was a Vortex Pinnacle Tyrannical, and it was a 20. And I'm not okay. It wasn't okay. We spent an hour and 40 minutes in there, and I was losing my marbles trying to figure out if there was a better way to piece my buttons together to make everybody live through the last boss. I was thinking at the time, man, if I ever learned anything from this, I could probably do a video of like tips for preservation evokers. Maybe not like a full rotation guide because it seems very situational, but just different things to keep an eye on and watch out for, different tricks that you might have or do, because I definitely play it differently than I did when I first picked it up. But I also feel like I've learned nothing and I'm getting nowhere. And it took me so long to heal us through that last boss. It was so hard. Oh, all right, I got a trinket. When to move? Move when your spot's no good, or if you think you could heal everybody if you were just standing somewhere different. Move when in fire. The rotation changes a bit based on your tier set. If you don't have tier yet, it's going to be a bit different. Both of the main rotations that we've used have kind of centered around either last season's tier set or this season's tier set. Previous to that, there was an even easier thing you could do, depending on the fight and like raid healing versus key healing. In the middle of leveling, yeah, it might be very different leveling. I think that a lot of the big combos are going to be more and dependent on end game fights and stuff. What I would do if you're leveling a preservation evoker is just kind of get used to figuring out what the different things feel like when you use echo with them. Like if you cast an echo on your tank and then you reversion, now he's got 2 reversions. You cast an echo on your tank and you do a little baby spirit bloom and now he's topped. Or you cast an echo on your tank and then you verdant embrace yourself and then you've got a life bind on him, on your tank, on them. But you haven't moved anywhere. There's your first tip, is that if you feel like it's dangerous to jump to somebody with Verdant Embrace, because it's a great heal, you got to use it all the time. But if it's too dangerous to move because there's stuff that you're going to go through that will kill you, which happens a lot, use Echo on whoever you want to heal and then just Verdant Embrace yourself or Verdant Embrace somebody close to you. But a lot of the time I will just Echo someone else and then embrace myself. Or echo a bunch of people, embrace myself, and then maybe use like an Emerald Communion or a big heal on me that like copies to other people with that life bind. Because you cannot just zoom through a bunch of things with your Verdant Embrace or with your Dream Flight or whatever, your hover, and assume that you are going to live because you thought it was a good idea. It doesn't work. You will die. I die a lot. We're actually going to finish all these objectives. I'm no longer using both 2 sets. I have 3-piece and then no piece. I got rid of my old 2-piece. I don't know if it was worth it, but I was sick of wearing 415 stuff. I wanted the extra stam. I wanted the extra stats. And my brain couldn't take 2 2-pieces anymore. So I have basically 2-piece and then no piece for old stuff. But I'm hoping to get 4-piece this week. I have high hopes. Big hopes. I'll do some LFR at some point. Probably not on stream today at this point, but I'll do some LFR and I will, and then I'll do normal and then we'll be in heroic. I have all of the bosses that drop the tier pieces I need. I can kill on 3 difficulties now. So I'm hoping. I just need one more bit. Yeah, the stasis dispel is pretty cool. It does come in really handy in very niche situations. Every now and then, you just really need extra dispels, and you don't need stasis for anything else. I'm still trying to figure out my favorite way to piece together stasis for an emergency. That was most of what I was doing while progressing on... and progressing is really the right word. While progressing on Assad in Tyrannical VP, was figuring out how to just crank the most HPS on 5 people with a little bit of wind up with stasis, and like what I wanted to copy and stuff, because like, yeah, you can stasis a temporal anomaly and that seems pretty good, and you can stasis a spirit bloom and that seems pretty good, but I really wanted my spirit bloom to be copied with full echoes and not with temporal anomaly echoes, because I wanted the tier hot to be huge, because I was trying to heal people through like what felt like ages worth of the blingy blingy ad just roasting everybody down. So I would kind of like, and then also you don't want to dream breath unless you have the buff that you get from Verdant Embracing 12 seconds before. It was just a lot of piecing stuff together. Oh, we did it. We got a full researcher's gift. Woo! Thank you. I'm going to leave the group, and then I'm going to open it. The stasis dispel, as far as I can tell, dispels the target that you dispelled the first time. Don't quote me on that, but that's my understanding, is that you can put dispels into it, but they'll remember their targets before. Who you're targeting when you click stasis has no impact on it. Okay. What do you get for a really good one of these? You get a mount. Don't know if that's guaranteed. Also a pet. Also 60 coins. Am I lucky or what? 200 supplies. Champion belt. Crit Master champion belt, actually. And a mount. And a pet. 60 coins, 48 flight stones, 1,000 rep. That mount's a low drop rate. Let me see this. Flaming Shale Wing subject. Catalog Shale Wing. And then also a Devourer Lobstrock pet. Let's see this thing. Look at my new buddy. Got that mount today too? Not bad. Oh, one of these guys. So this is my first Shale Wing. It's like a manta ray, but with more lava and rocks and a big old beak. It'd be cool if these could dragon ride. Cool. All right. And then that got me more than enough rep to finish my weekly, so I should be able to go get like my spark half plus my extra sniff and seeking thing. And then maybe I should do my sniffing instead of my rest of my pet battles, because I think that those might be a bit... Well, I mean, I want to do... It's going to take me longer. I can't do them all in 15 minutes. I want to do... I want to get my family battler. I want to get my pet. There's a phoenix that you get. Well, I'm quite pleased with that. That seems good. It seems like that was something that I might have wanted to farm from researchers anyways, so cool. And then that weekly chest is going to give me a veteran helm, dig map, crest fragments, 1,500 gold, presumably splintered spark of shadow for flame as well. Do I have... So I get another spark next week? Question mark? I think it's next week. How am I doing on coins, actually? I have 179 fragrant coins. And I am saving up. I need... Oh, so I could get the mount if I wanted it right now. I'm saving up basically 550 to get 2 mounts and a pet. I think I might just get the mount now, because I can trade 100 of them. I also think that I'm not going to worry too much about doing the little events for coins. If I can get 60 of them just for joining a raid group once a week, I think that's a much better use of my time. It'll take longer in the long run, but... So, can I buy 100 of those? And then I can buy the Mag Mammoth. And then I actually would have... You know what? I have enough to buy the pet, too. Let's do that as well. Let's get another 50 of these. Because, you know, we'll get them eventually anyways. And then we're just saving up 400 nice and easy for the... Well, not easy, but slowly for the igneous shell wing, which looks similar enough to the one that I just got that I'm not in a big hurry for it. So, get the diamond shell pet. Take a look at that. Nice, we got a couple new mounts today. And then the mount is the subterranean Mag Mammoth. It's blue. Coins account wide as well. It would make it a good idea to do that, just to do the weekly on alts then. Ay. Is that the case? Yeah, coveted baubles behind a Blizzard account. I don't know if I'm in that much of a hurry. Maybe. Same model as the achievement run for Vault of the Incarnates? For Aberris. Oh, no, you're right. Vault. Glory of the Vault Raider. Oh, yeah. It's just blue instead of red. Most lava flows. This lava charges. Also, I lost my Delver Marde. I guess there's no reason that it had to be on the world quest. It was over here somewhere. I think what I should do is I should look it up. Made it while you're still alive? Welcome, Eliana. Oh, man. Eliana. What do you do if you just did dungeons? No quests? Reps are level 1 to 3. Your reps will get caught up. There's a lot of stuff that gives rep. Do your weeklies, do some world quests, do some dungeon quests. Oh, speaking of dungeon quests, actually, I won't do it today, but you can get a normal raid piece of gear for doing the 5 time walking quests dungeons, and I could get a trinket. I need a trinket still. I'm still using my old 411 Broodkeeper's Promise. I have a heroic Rashox. We're happy about that, but I need another trinket. And that raid box could potentially give me one. So maybe we'll do some time walking tomorrow, because that is worth it. I guess it depends. If I get a trinket tonight, then I'll be fine, but I don't know if the odds of that are good. What was I doing? I was looking up. Oh yeah, I was looking up to find out exactly where I want to see a map for Delver Marde. If I got Sark's trinket, I'd be so happy. You don't need a trinket? You don't think so? For whatever reason, that kind of flattered me. Oh, thanks. You're right. Trinkets are a crutch. I'm perfect, just the way I am. So Delver Marde is kind of over here. You know what? I'm not actually far. I'm not actually that far from it. I almost remembered. Yeah, right here. Okay. So we did one. We did one fight for this. We tried to do Beast, and then we did not get it. We'll try it again. This might be a bit of a project. I don't know if I'll finish this on stream today, but we'll make a little progress. What CCs does Preservation have? You can spec into Sleepwalk is what I've done. I took Sleepwalk on the right-hand side here. I dropped my Terror of the Skies for it, but I took Sleepwalk for my key spec so that I have a hard cast I can do for the Incorporeal if it comes to it. There's a couple people in line ahead of me. Anyone with an instant cast, like a Paralysis or a Demon Hunter in Prison, is good, and I'm sure there are a few more of them, probably like a Hunter Trap. Those people usually get them first, but if it comes to it, then I can just quick cast and then get it done. 5 heroic dungeon chests for the champion piece. Oh. Also Hazel, I got all the dragon glyphs. Are you proud of me? Scarlet, I am proud of you. Every day. That's also, you got all the dragon glyphs? Cheese and crackers. Holy macaroni and Gruyere with a light breadcrumb crust and some garlic toast because carbs. 45 minutes going in today. Oh, I understand. I understand. I am proud of you. That'll be very good. You're going to be flying in the skies. I misunderstood. I was thinking of dragon cosmetic glyphs, which is also a thing that you can do if you want. Yeah, I was thinking manuscripts. I was confused as well. I was thinking 45 minutes. Hang on a minute. 45 minutes. I need to know how to get all the manuscripts in 45 minutes. I'm still proud of you, though. Manuscripts would be... Do I still have manuscript journal? I do have manuscript journal still. I have some things. What do I have the most of? We're 49 of 64 for the renewed proto drake for whatever reason. And then only 15 for the slither drake. I only have 38 for the velocidrake and the wielder drake still. I'm sure some of these are still easy though. Like a lot of these are just crafted. I just, you know, I could buy them or I could, Did I do it? I must not have done it. I wonder if my breeds are okay or if it's just an RNG kind of thing. I know, or maybe both. Maybe it's an RNG thing, but my breeds aren't helping. The good news is I have band-aids, so we can run it back and try it again. How many manuscripts am I at? Overall, 184 of 281. I have been picking them up, but I haven't been going wild. I have not been going wildly out of my way. I have not done the cobalt assembly. There is an alchemy thing. The alchemy transmute for frost. It's like cobalt assembly medium. I might even have it. I might even have enough rep and it costs like 50 supplies and I still haven't gone over there and purchased it. Yeah, I have at least medium. I could probably go get that, but there's an alchemy transmute I still don't have. Thank you for noticing. I am ignoring the cobalt assembly out of spite. I don't like them. And I don't want to like them. There's, as far as I know, I'm not missing any pets or mounts for it, so I think I managed to lazy that one out. I would agree that I wouldn't be ahead of you for long. I think you're going to catch me no trouble. You're going to like them towards the end of the expansion? Why? For what? I saw my manuscript using an add-on called Manuscript Journal? Manuscript, what is it? Manuscripts Journal. Add-on called Manuscripts Journal. Adds a tab to the collections journal. It's a good one. I wonder if I'm getting lucky or if I'm not getting lucky. That takes out Dusty. We might actually have this one this time. This guy's lucky he's cute. Oh, I hope I didn't jinx it. Drake Watcher manuscripts. The customizations for your dragon riding mounts. We did another one! Woo! Alright, there's 2 down. Holy moly. We've done Aquatic and Beast. Maybe Critter will go better? I'm hoping some of these are one-shots. Actually, you know what? Aquatic was a one-shot. It was just a very long strategy. Always learn my best add-ons from you. I get them from chat, largely. I get add-on suggestions from chat. And Flabby, actually. I get quite a few from Flabby. Flabby's the one that convinced me to swap from TSM to Auctionator pricing for my craft sim. I can't remember if he's the one that put me onto craft sim. I think I put him onto craft sim. Doesn't sound true, but I feel like that happened. Yeah, an updated add-on video would be a good idea. I won't make any promises I can't keep. Don't hold your breath, but it's a good idea. Actually, all of these pets are really cute. You've got little moth, little baby, I love the baby hornswoggle model. I have a, what's it called? Puddle hopper or something like that? I have a pet. Yeah, puddle hopper. I don't remember what it's from. I guess it's a Zaralek Cavern pet battle pet. And I have it on my hotbar so that I can summon it just to have a pet with me when my evoker's doing keys, because I feel like an evoker having a little baby hornswoggle is just very cute. I'm not currently using TSM. I was using it for a while, for quite some time, to supply pricing data to my craft sim. And then I guess to some extent to mail things, but I'm kind of off it right now. I've turned it off for the moment. I'm using Auctionator instead, so that I can do manual scans and have more up-to-date pricing to, you know, fuel my crafting decisions with. This is a hard fight. People have received blue bags, same character many tries in the week. I don't know anything about that. I've only tried doing it once a week. I heard it was weekly, and I guess I took that at face value. I have not tried repeating it. Dragon races, you're going to get 500 gold for the... If you do a Dragon Race World Quest, that racer's purse has about 500 gold plus a chance at manuscripts. There's also achievements that you can do for Dragon Racing for getting, you know, all gold or maybe all gold in advanced or silver in advanced. There's at least one pet for doing all of the regular races on advanced on silver. There's also armor that you can unlock, cosmetics, all kinds of stuff. This is no good. I am losing. Oh, I'm winning. Go team. I knew that would happen all along. Squirrel Squad is active on Lightbringer. I have not done the new campaign quest. I'm struggling to rustle up the motivation for it. I understand it's going to give me a bit of rep. And I like rep, I suppose. You know, might be nice to get a little bit of extra Niffin rep. I'm at Niffin 14 of 20. So I should probably try to get, you know, the campaign done before I finish Niffin rep, or else I'm never going to want to do it. Campaign quests for me are a bit of a drag to get through, just as a player that's not that interested in story, because all the other things I do in the game have some element of personal challenge, or they have an element of like collection, like you're going to get something really neat for doing it. And whenever there's story quests just for the sake of there being story quests, and I'm not getting any value from the story because it's not something I'm invested in, it's like I tend to skip them, but then I get in trouble for skipping them because I didn't unlock something or another. This shirt I got online from a secondhand reseller. It's supposedly vintage. And by vintage, I just mean 1990 something. Secondhand. Thrift and vintage shops is where most of my shirts are from. Oh, good news. I managed to get the hot sauce stain out of my other favorite big white fish shirt. It came out just fine with a regular stain remover. I was quite pleased. Shirt saved. The other stain that it came with, it's going to have until the end of time, but that one adds character. I don't feel like I see this winning, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this will be really, really, really big. This is a bit of an RNG pet battle. She's going to try and heal herself. Oh, no, it does heal. Oh, that's life exchange. All right, we don't give up hope. Never give up hope. Never give up hope. Yes! Yeah, I heard about the Terragosa Visage Mount. I don't have Terragosa's Wrath in general. I might sit it out. Visage Mount, can it Dragon Ride? Will it be able to Dragon Ride in 10.1.5? Alright, we're going to go back to Elemental later. I'm going to try Flyer. But Flyer with the Rock Martin 111. Because I'm scared of the Elemental one now. It is rigged for it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I might just let that one be. Or like leave it for a much later date when I feel like it. Feel like I want it. There's a toy also. I saw comments that it can Dragon Ride now. Oh. Do you use Living Flame? Yes. Living Flame is nice because it can proc your Essence Burst. So if you have periods of very low damage where you don't need to do much healing, but you know you're going to need to do a lot of healing shortly, you can just do a lot of healing or damage even. You can DPS with Living Flame or cast heals with it onto your allies to stock up those essence bursts. You can save up to 2 essence bursts so that when you're going into that big damage, you can either just bomb a bunch of Emerald Blossoms in a row on a big stacked target. That's kind of big blossom build. Or you can just get a ton of stasis out and then do a big heal with all that stasis. Or not stasis, sorry, a ton of echo out and then do a big heal with all the echo. So I will fish for procs in between things with Living Flame sometimes. Hello all, thought I'd miss you today. Hello, Katie. We are wrapping up soon, but we've been here. We've had a good day. We did I got a couple mounts actually. I got the mount from not Nighthold or anything. I haven't done that run yet, but I got a Shale Wing from the researchers event. And then I also bought a mammoth for the coins. I bought the coin mammoth. So we've got this guy. It's brand new. And then the subterranean mag mammoth also is another one I got. Love the colors of the subterranean mag mammoth. There we go. Flying. Done. Good job, Rock Martin. Problem solved. No troubles at all. I'm a bit excited to get my Hunter alt to level 70 and then poke around in the caverns and figure out if there's any pets that I want to tame on her. There's some really nice new models. Okay, so now we're going to do humanoid. Hopefully this one's all right. If I get through the rest of them and then it's just elemental left, then maybe we'll stream a little extra long. If I can reasonably finish this, I would love to get this achievement because it's going to give me a pet and then I'd be all caught up on the Family Battler achievements. You know, in a somewhat reasonable frame of time this time. I know it's not the first week of patch, but usually I procrastinate on this until like the end of the expansion. So I'm pretty pleased with getting this done now. Go for it. What's the name of the pet you get for this? Is it Rupert or is that from something else? No, Rupert's the rat. Rupert's different. You get Grindel? No. Gerald. That's right. You get Gerald for doing this. It's a Phoenix pet. I will not be disappointed that it's a recolor. I will not. At least it's cute. It's better than in Argus. You do Family Battler of Argus, Family Fighter, miserable achievement, and you get this leprous muskrat. Who, I won't lie to you, I do kind of love. It's like a Mountain Dew, you know, apocalypse dog. But that achievement nearly killed me. That achievement was the first thing that ever gave me YouTube burnout, and I don't know if I've ever completely recovered, because at the time I was still making strategies for all the fights, and I was still making YouTube videos for all the strategies for all the fights, and it was something like 140 strategies. And some of them were really hard, and there's just not that many people that do achievements that niche, and also YouTube videos aren't really the best avenue to get strategies anyways. And I put like months into this project, and then it was like not worth it at all, and that was the first that was the first thing that ever really toasted me. I had a hard time getting motivated again after that. Okay, humanoid battler done. Very good, very good. So now I just get my strategies off of Zufu, and then when people say I need a pet battle strat, I just point them to Zufu because they are all there. Velzaria, thank you for the 2-month resub. I really want to have a good raid reclear tonight. I want to make sure I'm doing the most healing I can. I can't just do keys all day today. If I was going to be a real degenerate, I would finish stream, have lunch, do Wormcrest keys all afternoon, crank my Rashlex Molten Heart up to rank 5, and then head into raid Guns Ablazing. But that's not what I'm going to do today. I have a couple of hours to be a grown-up this afternoon, and I'm going to at least try. I'm going to at least try. I'm sure we can still do fine. We've got a normal reclear first, and if I get really, really lucky, maybe I can get 4-piece. I would be very happy with 4-piece. Do I get any? I might get Wormcrest out of normal raid clear. Like later bosses might give normal, later normal Aberrus bosses might give Wormcrest. That's a lot of words. That sounds true. I still end up needing to do lots and lots of keys though. As long as your stream's going, I feel I have a good excuse to put off adult things. Heroic dungeons to try for 4-piece. I don't think you can get a tier piece from that. I may be wrong, but my understanding was that you cannot get tier from that particular cache. I don't have my vicious snail yet. I'm in a position where I can start working on it. I'm kind of thinking about chipping away at it off stream because I've done a few rounds of solo shuffle now, and this early season healing solo shuffle is so miserable that I don't feel up to being a chipper streamer in good humor doing it. I think I just need to suffer in private until at least like a little later season, maybe a little more gear, a little more practice, a little comfier, and then maybe I can get away with streaming some of it. But so far, every time I've queued solo shuffle, I have wanted to cry. And that's something I can do on my own time. All right, there's Magic Battler. Here's Mech. So I need to do Mech, Undead, and then go back for Elemental, because apparently that one's quite ugly. Yeah, I think that one is just random champion gear. I think that the Time Walking one can give raid loot, but not tier. I'm gonna do the Time Walking one maybe tomorrow for a chance at trinkets, for a chance at normal raid trinkets. Feels way harder. Yeah, what have I done? I've made mistakes. Did I exit out of it, or did I just lose very quickly? But it's coming along. I have honor gear fully done, so now I'm just kind of working on conquest gear. So I think that my goal for a little bit for solo shuffle will be just to keep earning enough honor to get 2 vault options and to try to sort of stay close to conquest cap. And then I wonder if I've got a bad script, or if this doesn't swap to your scorpion, you took a crit, need to restart. I wonder if I'm just taking critical hits, and that's why if my script is, there's a couple of turns where it will abort on its own. What you up to? I am working on Family Battler of the Zaralek Cavern. This is the last tamer that I need to beat with single type teams. I have the teams all set up, and I have scripts imported and everything. And I'm doing my best to just muscle through. I don't think that's right. I'm going to check for a different strategy and see if they're all like that. Snail progress, I need 1 more day for Snail. I thought that I would be able to finish it today, and as it turns out, my math sucked. Not that it was really much math, but I did it incorrectly, so I need to do it tomorrow. Family Battler of the Zaralek Cavern. We're looking for Delver Marde. Mechanical. So right now my team... Script, RNG, 1 minute 25. Let's just try a different team. Let's just chuck this one. And then we're gonna try importing that one, overwrite it, and then grab a script, and then pop that in. Not for humanoid, for mech. Why is it saying edit script for humanoid? I'm gonna reload. I don't trust that. Oh, the PvP snail. 0%. 0%. I'm at the rating now where I can start working on it, but I haven't actually won any rounds. Or like I haven't won more, at least 3. I've gone 0-6, 0-6, 1-5, 2-4. It's been, when I say it's been miserable, I mean it. Eventually, Delver Marde mech. That's very strange. I wonder if that's what was going on. It says humanoid, but it's definitely the mech strat. I don't need the humanoid strat anymore. I can just delete the humanoid strat. Actually, I don't even see it there anymore. Something bizarre has happened here. I do main Drakthir, yeah. I've been a preservation evoker main for Dragonflight so far. It's really cool. It's a really, really cool healing spec. I'm pretty middling on being a Drakthir. I think that being a dragon is fine, but it would be an exaggeration to say that I'm excited about it. Alright, this at least is doing something so far. Just noticed you named your Iron Starlet Smash. I have my nickname to Boom. They do good work, don't they? I love this pocket cannon. I think it's such a cute pet. Yeah, if I could be a gnome voker, we would 100% do that. I was using the, there's a toy that turns you into a, like a Jarden, like a Primalist Jarden looking guy, and he's very tall, and I enjoyed being that. Like, the transformation toys will let you play. You could also do the walrus thing with a blubbery muffin. New goblin anvil pet, little freaky? New goblin anvil pet? Which one? What do you mean? I think I missed this. What's the deal? Come on, Microbot. You can do it. Come on, Microbot. You can come back and do it. Does he still have his buffs, or did he lose his power up when he... Microbot, please! I think it's just RNG. He was trying to wind up a one shot. All right, let's try it again. There is something very strange going on. Oh, it's because I'm in combat. I wonder if that's what was messing with my rematch. Try it again. Oh, Alvin the Anvil. Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the class fantasy, but not the way it feels to play, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm debating whether or not after Dragonflight is over, I will stick with this main for this whole expansion, but once we're moving into the next expansion, it might depend a bit on class design and what else is going on, but I'm debating whether or not I would want to stay Evoker or switch basically back to being a gnome priest, because I haven't been one in a while, but I miss being a gnome. And a little bit of me misses being a priest. I think I've gotten quite used to all of the evoker mobility and utility, though. And I think that I've learned to take a lot of things for granted that I would be a bit frustrated to not have anymore going back to an older class. So I don't know. I'd have to... That's a later me problem. Yeah. Alvin's coming back to me now. I think I used to summon him in raid, and you'd summon him at the beginning of the raid, and then at the end of the fight, he would finally be getting close to you. Like, he would have run all the way from the door of Vault of the Incarnates up to, you know, Eggnog. All right, Microbot, can you get your big boom off? You can do it! Yes! There you go. I knew you had it in you. Mechanical battle are done. You never have to do that again. We just need 2 more undead, and then... Heaven help us for elemental. Hopefully this is the script's good. We've got a drowned hatchling. We've got Widget the Departed, and we have a ghostly whelpling here. I don't remember what this is from, but I remember being kind of excited to get this pet. I don't remember what the deal was. It's cleaning up in this fight. I'm pretty pleased with that. I wonder that it doesn't want to do an Unholy Ascension? Oh, maybe it thinks it has time now. Oh, no, we can heal everybody. Trust the script. Always trust the script. Oh yeah, I guess it's got its undead round. It can probably do that. Or expose damages. Damage is good too. Oh, there it is. There it goes. Worth it. Beautiful. Okay. And then we bring a Widget. Widget's going to call darkness just to finish off that thing. And then it's just us versus the moth. We have Spectral Strike, which should do some decent damage. Yeah. And then we've got another pet with Spectral Strike. That's easy enough. Nice. Okay, I just have one more strat to do, and then we finish this whole meta achievement. I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, just one more. One more. All right. Elemental. Oh no. Oh no, not the sunflower. Anything but the singing sunflower. Shall we start a stopwatch? Just for fun. Let's find out what we're looking at here. Oh, I'm putting my feet up. But yeah, if it works, it works. All right. What do you guys got going on for the rest of your day? Fun weeknight dinners? Walk your dog after work? I see people walking their dogs after work. I want to say hi to all the dogs. I want to hug all of them. I can't. I don't. But I love them from a distance. At least it doesn't have Bloom Doom with it. Crying? Sometimes very important. Very cathartic. Do you ever have like a little list in your head of movies that you have just kind of as your go-to if you just really need a good cry and you can't quite get there? Going to my local comic shop? Oh, fun. Say hi to all the dogs from me. Shower, cup of tea, do some cleaning? That sounds wonderful. Got some WoW dailies done while watching though. Nice. Off work sick all week. Plans just relax, get better. I hope you feel better soon. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself. Purchased one of the visual timers. Been a big help to me. Oh, nice. I need to do a couple sessions with mine. I've got a couple things on my list. And I need to just be brave and self-compassionate and kind. And just get through a tiny thing. A pitfall that I've been running into sometimes when I'm trying to confront my anxiety piles is I start doing my little itty-bitty thing that I said I would do that would help. And then my brain goes, that's not enough. You should be doing all of it. And then I go, I know. And then I like panic and run away from the whole thing and do nothing. And I need to just not listen to the part of my brain that says that I'm not doing enough and that anything is better than nothing. And I have been doing nothing for a long time. So just do a little baby bits. Itty bitty bits. Need a good cry, just solo shuffle. Blade Runner 2049. That's my answer for everything movie related. What did I cry all the way through recently? I think it might have been A Man Called Otto. I think I might have cried through the entirety of that. Oh, Encanto always makes me cry too. I love Encanto and I can't watch it without crying in the middle of it. At the one part. You know the one. Gets me every time. Boss told us today about that movie. I want to watch it. I enjoyed it very much. It is very heavy. It deals with some very serious subject matter. But I was sold because I saw a picture of a cat on the I saw a kitty cat on the poster, I guess. I don't know, the trailer, the cover art, the cover image. And then I thought, kitty. How sad can this movie be as long as the cat's all right? I want to watch people get cheered up by cats. And that's, you know, an optimistic tagline for A Man Called Otto. songs in Encanto are so catchy. I love that movie. I think it's like, I love it a lot. There's no such thing as a perfect movie, but for like family movies, that one is up there. I also have only heard the songs like a reasonable number of times because I don't have anybody in my vicinity that would like make me listen to them a lot. And I think that might be the thing that sours family movies for some parents, is if they've, you know, they really liked Frozen the first 3 times, and then times 4 through 197 were what really kind of, you know, brought it down in the rankings a bit, and now they can't hear Idina Menzel without shuddering a little bit on the inside. All right, we're so close. You know what? It's only been like 4.5 minutes. What's a 5-minute strat? I mean, it's enough to make you late for Researchers Under Fire if you're only trying to do it in 3 minutes left to go. I would not have had time. We did it! It's over! Family Battler of Zaralek Cavern. We don't gotta do any more of that. I can probably delete this entire tab's worth of teams. Delete the teams too. Get rid of them. Don't want them anymore. I will get new strats that are just, you know, efficient for doing these tamers for world quests. Let's go see our new boy. We have, his name is Gerald, not Rupert. I don't know why I keep thinking. I'm thinking of the rat. Here's Gerald. Let's get Gerald a nice pet stone. A little upgrade stone for Gerald. Level 25. What kind of animations do you think we have? I can cast. I'm an evoker bird. This is much better. Do you think I can do, Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Forget dragons, I want to be a Tweety bird. I did get the adorable Bakar puppy pet. I did. The add-on for saving pet teams is called Rematch. Rematch is, it's in my add-ons Google Doc. That's so delightful. I am sure, I don't think you can keep the appearance through combat, but being able to do it in, I lost it. That's okay. Gerald can hold it down for me. Neat. Okay. Well, we did all kinds of, look at all those rares. We did all kinds of stuff today. Good stream. I will be back tomorrow, and I'm thinking time walking, maybe LFR. Basically just trying to make this raid cough out the last couple pieces of gear that I need to really feel like I'm in business. Thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate your company, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.